Good morning, Raptor Freaks. Lexi Otts here. It's Sunday morning, and we're reacting to 905 loss to the Wisconsin Herd last night and setting up a game today in Orlando, the first of two against the Magic down in the Sunshine State. The Raptors are playing Orlando today. Well, Orlando's actually in the best shape of the year since we've played them. We played them twice this year, and we're 1-1. And these games that we played them before, they were missing people that were key. The first time they were missing Paulo and Franz. The second time they were just missing Franz. And well, this time they're not missing either of them. So this is going to be the toughest time playing against the Magic. The Magic are playing 500 ball right now. They've won 5 out of the last 10. And we're pretty bad right now. We've won like 2 out of our last 10. So in some ways, we're in a bad place compared to them. But you never know. Our guys should rise to the occasion. And I'm asking for this. I don't expect a sweep in Orlando against the Magic in these next 2 games, but I would like to split it. I'd like to split it. I'd like to see a split where we win one, they win one. That's fine with me. It helps both the Tank Nation with what they want and also for the people that want to see them win and excel and do very well and succeed. So that's what we're looking at today. A 500 team versus a 300 team, really. We're kind of a 300 team right now, and they are a lot more healthy. So let's go look at the latest lineup news for both teams. Now, this is something that nobody's reported, but I know because I've looked through the tea leaves and I understand these things. Well, last night, in the Raptors 905 game, AJ Lawson was not in Wisconsin with the 905. He did not play in that game. So I'm going to guess that he's in Orlando right now because Abaji got hurt and he will not be playing today because of his ankle sprain from the Friday game against the Bulls. So AJ Lawson is down in Orlando. Blake Murphy, none of them have reported this yet. I'm going to say it because I know and I'm ahead. And in some ways, I've got an inside track just from observing and paying really close attention. So AJ Lawson is with the team against the Magic in Orlando, called up from the 905 team to play in the game today for the Raptors because they need more people because they do actually have a pretty extensive injury list right now. Garrett Temple's still gone from the team due to his wife's pregnancy. So he is not available for today. He's ruled out. He still hasn't returned to the team. Jamison Battle will not play today due to his broken nose. So he is ruled out. Ochai Agbaji is ruled out for today already because of the ankle injury, as I already reported. And then Brandon Ingram and Ulrich Shamshe are both out right now for the Raptors. So that's who's out. I'll speculate that we will get our starting lineup, our number one starting lineup right now. The Barbecue Yak Dick will be starting today. And we've got, like I said, AJ's going to be down there with them. So rotation could be Emmanuel, Grady, RJ, Scotty, and Jakob, along with Jamal Shed, Jacoby Walter, Jonathan Mobo, Orlando Robinson, maybe Chris Boucher in there as the next guy, and AJ Lawson as backup just in case for the team. So they'll have about 11 guys dressed for the Raptors today. Going on the other side, the injuries are not as bad as last time. Of course, Jalen Suggs has been recently announced that his season is over for the rest of the year. He has a trochlea injury in his left knee, and he's out indefinitely, so he will not be playing today. Of course, also Mo Wagner has been out for most of the season now with the torn ACL, and he is not going to be playing for the rest of the year either. The other news on the Magic side of things is Ethan Thompson has been signed to a two-way with the Magic as of yesterday. So, yeah, looking at the Magic, that means they're very, very healthy, guys. Franz and Paulo are available, and they will be playing. Cole Anthony, KCP, and Wendell Carter Jr. are the rest of the starting 5 for the Magic right now. Off the bench, Anthony Black, the good friend of Grady Dick, Gary Harris, Tristan Da Silva, the rookie, Jonathan Isaac, Goga Bizat, Jet Howard, Trevelyan Queen, let's see it, Caleb Houston, and Mac McClung, and Corey Joseph round out the rotation in the team for the Magic right now. As I said, they've won 5 out of their last 10. And they're kind of middling right now. That's the epitome of middling right there, right? The ESPN matchup predictor is saying that we have real quick. This is what our percent chance of winning in this game is. What ESPN thinks is 32% chance to win and 68% chance that the Magic win. So 68% chance Magic win, 32% that the Raptors win. Sorry, that's what it was, 32%. We got a 32% chance winning. That's what they're saying, a 1 1/3 kind of. All right, let's go look at the refs, guys. For the game today, we've got Tony Brothers as the crew chief for our game in Orlando today. Tony Brothers in his 31st season, number 25 out of Norfolk, Virginia. His favorite TV show is 24. He likes the movie Claudine. Gets down to Earth, Wind, and Fire. His favorite book is the Bible. He eats fried croakers. His favorite app is Spotify. He most like to visit Israel, and his hidden talent is cooking. Yeah, Tony Brothers has strong ties to his home state of Virginia. He currently serves as the commissioner of the Virginia Basketball Officials Association. In 2023, Brothers was inducted into the Hampton Roads Hall of Fame. And Tony Brothers has 6 children, y'all. I don't know if you guys knew that. There's a little fun facts about Tony. Now, Tony has been a decent ref for us this year, honestly. We've had him 4 times already this year. We're 2-2, and we won the last time Tony was reffing a game for us. We have a win percentage in his career of 46% win percentage. And meanwhile, the Magic have a 49% win percentage. So Tony Brothers favors the Magic, 46-49, the split with Tony Brothers, the crew chief today. The second ref is going to be Fennessy Ransom out of Atlanta, Georgia, 7th season, number 70. His favorite TV show is 60 Minutes. He likes the movie Enter the Dragon. He listens to Foreign Exchange. His favorite book is The Tao of Abundance. His favorite meal is hibachi chicken and shrimp. His favorite app is Shazam. You must like to visit Cairo. And bucket list is to learn to play the piano. And his hidden talent is public speaking. Public speaking, that's right. This Georgia native was a standout basketball player at Winston-Salem State University, where he was named the 1993-94 Central Intercollegiate Athletic Association Rookie of the Year, and he earned 94-95 All-CIA honors. And he went on to play 2 years at the University of Georgia after that, from 96 to 98. His interests include golf and leadership development. Fennessy is an interesting ref today. He's actually the best ref for the Raptors today. We've won 2 games out of 4 with him this year. We did win the last game he refed, and as I said, we're 2-2 this season so far with him. We have a 500 record, right split down the middle. We're 7-7 in the history of Fennessy Ransom refereeing us, but the Magic have a 300 record. So it's 50-30 for the Raptors with Fennessy Ransom, the second ref. So 50-30 split for Raptors on the second ref. The third ref is one of the worst refs for the Raptors right now, currently, has one of the lowest win percentages. Simone Jelks, number 81, her 5th season out of Cleveland, Ohio. Her favorite TV show is The Handmaid's Tale. Her favorite movie is Love and Basketball. She likes to listen to J. Cole. Her favorite book is the Bible. So there's a theme here. It's Sunday morning. We've got 2 refs. The favorite book is the Bible. Her favorite meal is collard greens and peach cobbler. She likes the app Skylight. She most like to visit Africa. And her hidden talent is spoken word poetry. So we've got some very literate refs that like leadership and speaking. And that's just the crew. It's a pretty tight crew. I think these 3 have worked together a lot this year, actually, because I know that they paired Tony with Fennessy a lot. It may very well be that he likes working with Fennessy and Simone, and he asked for that crew, Tony Brothers. So Simone earned a master's degree in public health at Case Western Reserve University and a master's degree in urban secondary teaching from Cleveland State University. She worked as a high school Spanish teacher for 6 years. She also gave birth to a son, Mecca Blue, in January 2024. She has shared her story about experiencing an infant loss during her first pregnancy. So, yeah, Simone Jelks is statistically the worst ref in the league for us right now. We've won 1 out of 9 games with her. So we haven't had her a whole lot, but we've only won 1 game. We're 1-8 with her as a record. That's 0.11, 11. It's 11%. And the Magic are just as bad, though, in some ways. They have only won 20% of their games. So 11-20 is the split. Those are very low numbers. And the Magic are one of the bottom 5 teams for her, too, also. We're the second to bottom on her ref sheet, and they're like the 4th from the bottom. So 11-20 is the split with Simone Jelks. Really, really small percentages, but she favors the Magic. Now, our record with her this year is that we've won 1 and we've lost 4. So we're 1-4 with her this season. This will be the 6th game that she's refed us this year. So there's your ref crew. I'm not going to say they're a bad ref crew because honestly, I really do like Tony Brothers. I feel like he does a fairly decent job as far as keeping things fair and just running a tight ship. And just, he's easy to kind of predict in some ways. Some of the refs are very unpredictable and hard to like kind of suss out how they're going to call stuff, and they'll be kind of erratic, but not Tony. He's pretty steady. He has a style. He has a candor and a demeanor that I know what to expect from. So in some ways, I don't fear him because I know that he's the one of the refs in the league that will absolutely reward hard work. And when the Raptors work hard and they look like they're a team out there and they're playing really well and smoothly, Tony Brothers will help them seriously because that's part of the refs want us that want they want a good product. And when teams are playing well, the refs will reward them seriously, especially if they look like they're working their ass off. They will say, you're doing a good job, young Scotty. We're going to go ahead and give you some foul calls and put you on the line. That's kind of how it works. So there's your ref report. Tony Brothers, Fantasy Ransom, and Simone Jelks. I'm going to say it's a pretty split even kind of ref crew. In some ways, I don't see Tony favoring the Magic too much, but who knows? That may be famous last words. Hopefully, we'll just see a good officiated game and everything will be fine. Nothing like what happened at the end of the game with Ed Malloy and Kobe White on that bullshit. Yeah, that was bullshit. I'll tell you right now. So, yeah, there's a ref report, and there is your latest lineup news. All right, let's see what's going on with everybody this morning. We start off in the chat with Trevor J, the commissioner of fun, my steady right-hand man right here. Yeah, you don't have to believe in yourself completely to take action. The belief grows as you move. You know, it's crazy. This world is unknown. The future is unknown. There's all kinds of things that could happen to us in the future. And in some ways, you don't know what's going to be. It's blind. In some ways, you have to move towards things in your life with a plan to try and have a goal and to get things accomplished in your life. But sometimes you can't know exactly the exact path or way that you're going to get to your goals. And sometimes you can't just wait for the right opportunity. You need to just go and start initiating the process of what you want and going, even if you do not have a clear path or idea of how you're going to go about it. Sometimes you find that path from starting the process and starting into it, and then it naturally unfolds in front of you. That's a great word of wisdom today from Trevor, is say, take the action, have a rough idea or draft of what you want to try and do, and keep going. And sometimes as you go, you'll be inspired and you'll create ideas from what you come along on the process. Great stuff, Trevor J. Fantastic words of wisdom this morning from our commissioner of fun. That's right. Trevor's saying, happy game day. Let's beat the Magic tonight. Yeah, like I said, I want to see a split, if not a sweep for the Raptors. I think that it's not likely we'll sweep them, but it would be great to get at least one of the games. And that's what I'm saying. We could get it tonight. Hey, we end a losing streak and we, start getting some good feelings back for the guys. I'm sure that after the game against the Bulls, they feel a little bit like failures because that really was a drop the ball kind of like everything fell apart, choke kind of loss on Friday night. Whether it's been manipulated to have that outcome, it doesn't matter. It still feels the same because you go the whole entire game beating a team and you're like, yeah, we're going to win. We're going to win. And then it gets snatched from you at the end. That's never a good feeling. That's never a good feeling. But these feelings and these kind of things have to happen for a young core in the NBA to learn exactly what they need to learn in development and building themselves up. The lessons of Friday are important. And in some ways, I'd rather them go through these lessons this year than next year. So it's like, yeah, do them now. Get them out of the way. Trevor J is saying that Tyrese Maxey says that his favorite arena to play in is in Toronto. And what do y'all think of that statement? Yeah, I remember him saying this. This isn't new. I believe that Tyrese said this last year. And it's just that he likes the environment. He likes how the crowd is hyped at Scotiabank Arena. And we're loud and we really are kind of good fans. And he likes the excitement in the arena. He also likes being the op in that situation and having the ability to possibly quiet us down or to just engage or interact with the fans as a Sixer in the Toronto arena. So there's really specific reasons why he likes it. He's a very tough competitor, and he loves that kind of competitive environment. And in some ways, on the road against a team that has been an arch enemy to the Sixers in some ways in recent years. Yeah, he loves that energy as a young competitor in the NBA. That's what it makes sense to me. Trevor's saying that R&B singer Angie Stone died in a car accident. I hate to hear this. There's been people passing away in the last week or so. There's, they always say there's celebrity threes of people passing away. Yeah, it sucks. I hate hearing this kind of stuff. About rest in peace, Angie Stone and all her fans and everybody. I condolences to you and the family of Angie Stone also. I hate to hear that. Car accident, probably that's not good. That means she's probably pretty young and way before her time. That's a tragedy right there. Tragedy. Smooth is saying that it was a fantastic event last night. Huge stuff happened. Talking about the WWE at Scotiabank Arena last night. Yeah, WWE's in town in Toronto this weekend. They did SmackDown on Friday, and they had the Elimination Chamber last night. No, it doesn't involve toilet paper, Lex. Yeah, apparently the event was awesome. The Smooth Brown Man is totally stoked about it. I love that. Yeah, I almost watched a little bit of it. You know, Adriana's out here with me right now, and she had Netflix. So I was like, oh, maybe we'll watch Elimination Chamber. But no, we watched Breaking Bad instead. It's like I almost watched some of it because it's like, I could watch it because it's on here. But I didn't do it. I might have to try and check out WWE on Netflix at some point just to see what it's like on there. But I'm glad you enjoyed the pay-per-view last night. Did The Rock beat Cody? I was wondering about that. And who won in the toilet match, the Elimination Chamber? Which one of the 6 won on the women's and the men's? I did see the card. It's a very interesting card. I see that Trish Stratus had a tag team match in the game in the last night. The Toronto's own Diva, the WWE Diva, Trish Stratus. We love Trish Stratus. That's right. Trevor's saying that Smooth Cody Rose say to The Rock, "Fuck you," and John Cena beat his ass in front of 38,493 fans. That's the synopsis. So Cody Rhodes said to The Rock, "F you," to his face. Yeah, that's a fun little rivalry. Of course, these guys are intergenerational talents from families that are in wrestling. The Rock's family, of course, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, Soul Man Johnson's son, Peter Maiavia's grandson, and then you got Cody, who's the son of Dusty Rhodes, of course. So there's a lot of natural genes in the business and a rivalry between Dwayne and Cody. And yeah, it's cool stuff. Cody's had such a weird career going from WWF to AEW and then back to WWF. And he's just risen and risen and risen at this point. In some ways, he's a natural and he should have been doing this the whole time. But the difference between Cody and Dustin's careers are very interesting too. Dustin Reynolds, of course, Goldust, the older brother of Cody. So yeah, good stuff. I mean, hey, there you go. Getting the WWE report from Scotiabank. That's right. John Cena, I honestly can't believe it, man. My jaw dropped for John to turn heel. So John Cena came out and turned heel last night at Scotiabank Arena. Oh my gosh. What about all the little Cena kids that love him? They tried to turn him heel a couple times in his career, right? And in some ways, it's just not a natural fit. He was such a child-friendly star, positive star that, John Cena, and also who he is as a person in real life, he's just not a bad guy. So him being heel is kind of weird. It doesn't totally fit sometimes. Yeah, that's interesting. But they turned him heel last night. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Your jaw dropped. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Monique is here. The super fan. Monique Lawrence is here. And yes, we're going to talk about this 905 game. Good morning, Raptor Freak crew. Happy game day. I'm starting to question the 905 players always choking in the end. Get this game, please. No, it's not. It's our butts. This has been an issue. Last month was horrible for the 905. They only won 2 games out of 11 and really, really sunk in the G League standings. And in fact, they're in trouble, man. If they don't get their act together right away now for the month of March, they're not going to make the playoffs. And they were the number 1 team in the G League a month ago. And that's annoying as hell to me. But there's a lot of different symptoms for why this is happening, Mo. These guys have been called up and they're on the Raptors now, Mobo and Shed, and they're not playing with them anymore. Jacoby Walter. You know what the biggest thing that's changed and why this is happening, though, Mo? Think about it. It's Shamshay. Shamshay gets hurt for the season, and they have not won a game since. Shamshay's defensive presence and shot blocking and just all-around athleticism has been really helping the 905 to win this season. In some ways, that's a good news thing for Raptors fans because Shamshay has an impact on winning. Well, Shamshay's been out with the MCL tear since Kenny Chandler fell into his leg, and they have not won a single damn game. So I really do think a lot of the reasons why the 905 are struggling right now is not just the other guys are up, but Shamshay is not there to hold down the fort for them as some sort of defensive anchor. And his rebounding and shot blocking ability has been very useful to winning for the 905. So that's a big part of it right there. The other problem with the 905 right now is their short staff. They really are not playing with a lot of players right now. They got 9 guys play last night, and that was almost pretty much everybody's available. And it's like guys that weren't getting any time at all have to come in and play in the rotation regular minutes, like Tyler Perry and Dylan Disu and people like that. So it's a tough little thing that's going on right now. They ran out of gas last night, and they got beat up by 2 former Raptors last night. Henry Ellenson absolutely killed them. The former Raptor who played for the Raptors like 7 years ago. It's crazy. Henry Ellison. And then also Justice Winslow had a big factor in the game last night. He didn't play in the Friday night game, so he's fresh. He's one of the only players in both those teams that did not play in the game on Friday, so he was absolutely fresh. He bombed 4 threes and was an absolute physical presence in the game last night. Justice Winslow coming back around and beating the 905 last night. In a lot of ways, he was a huge part of why. So let's go and look at it real quick. I'll do the stars of the game real quick. My number one star of the game for the 905 in the losing effort was Jared Rhoden. Jared Rhoden got 22 points on 8 of 15 shooting, 2 of 4 at the 3 of 6 at the free throw line. I hate missing half your free throws. Those are extra points, and y'all did lose by 2, and y'all were winning the whole entire game. In fact, y'all had a 20-point lead at halftime, and y'all ended up losing at the end. It's crazy. He had 11 rebounds, so a double-double for Jared Rhoden, 1 assist, 1 steal, 2 blocks, 2 turnovers, a -2. Yeah, it's crazy. They were up by 20 at the half, and in the third quarter, Henry Ellison went off. He scored 17 points by himself, and they outscored the Raptors 905 33-18 and swallowed up that lead that the 905 had. And then in the last quarter, same thing. They outscored them again and just barely beat them by 2 points. It was a total choke job, like Monique said. And it's sad because they worked so hard and they had an amazing lead at halftime, and they totally blew it in the second half. And a big, big credit to Henry Ellison, former Raptor, big, huge center from Wisconsin, and Justice Winslow carrying them to that victory for their team. So the second star of the game for yesterday is Eugene Omoruyi. Omoruyi puts on for his city. That's right. 17 points on 7 of 14 shooting, 1 of 4 from 3. He hit his only free throw, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, 5 turnovers. Eugene Omoruyi of -1. Yeah, he's just in there working and battling. In some ways, seeing Eugene against Justice was a real battle of strong guys. But man, Justice Winslow, even since last year when he played for the Raptors 905, he's added even more muscle, and he's even more of a strong guy. And he's kind of really dangerous, honestly. He's like in that level of like, I'm Charles Oakley. I could kill you with my arm if I wanted to kind of category at this point, Justice Winslow. So yeah, it's an interesting matchup, Omoruyi versus Winslow, and battling with that physicality around the lane in that Wisconsin Herd game last night. Very, very interesting. My third star of the game and final star of the game for the 905 was Charlie Brown. I want to give Charlie Brown some shine because I really feel like he's come so far from the beginning of the season. His selfish ass jump shots, just shooting everything and not really getting his teammates involved. He's really changed a lot. And he's a very active, long player that causes really good things to happen on defense. And he's an effective 3-point shooter to a degree also. Charlie Brown off the bench, 27 minutes, 4 of 5 from the field, made his only 3-point attempt, missed his only free throw, though. 4 offensive rebounds with 5 rebounds altogether, 3 assists, 2 blocks, 1 turnover, a +8 with 9 points. Yeah, I gave a guy with 9 points the third star. And in some ways, he deserved it because honestly, he may have messed up at the end, though. The way they lost was stupid. Because Ellison, and he did the post-game interview, and I listened to it. He said, they put a small guy on me, which was Charlie Brown, and I was like, I just went to the basket and boxed him out. And Charlie Brown ineffectively boxed him out, and they took a shot and they missed, and Ellison was just there to clean it up and put it back in and win the game right at the last second. If they had more effectively boxed him out at the end of the game, maybe Kaminsky should have been guarding Ellison instead of Charlie Brown. That all that wouldn't have happened. So there was a weird little switch on defense, and Ellison just fought for position and got in there, grabbed the rebound, and put it right back in, and that's how they won the game right at the end. It's too bad. Frank Kaminsky, I guess honorable mention, although he shot pretty bad, 8 of 21, 1 of 5 from the 3-point, made his only free throw, 8 rebounds, 7 assists, 1 steal, 18 points for Frank in 36 minutes. Tyreke Key started, and you know what? He's really had a hard time scoring. At the beginning of the season, he started so well. And, he's getting to start right now because A.J. Lawson's with the Raptors. And he didn't take advantage of that opportunity last night. Only 10 points for him, 4 of 6 for shooting, 2 of 2 at the 3-point line, which is pretty good. But no rebounds, no assists, just 1 steal. Very, very hollow stat line for playing 25 minutes and starting. Only 10 points and a steal. And that kind of production, that's not going to keep you in the starting lineup, Tyreke. I'm sorry. Evan Gilliard, 14 points on 4 of 7 shooting, 1 of 2 from 3, 4 of 5 at the free throw line, 1 rebound, 7 assists, 2 turnovers, a +1. Tyler Perry came in for 4 minutes and didn't score. Quincy Guerriere, 20 minutes of play, 6 points, a +8 with 10 rebounds, 1 assist, and 2 turnovers. And Kennedy Chandler, 18 minutes with 6 points, 2 of 5 from the field, 1 of 2 at the free throw line, 5 assists, 0 turnovers for Kennedy. And Kennedy wasn't that bad. And Lacey James, Dylan Disu did not play. I don't know why Lacey James is not getting time out there. We just got him, and he's not really getting to play a lot. As I said, Henry Ellenson was amazing. 30 points for him, 10 of 21 shooting, 2 of 4 from three-point range, 5 of 5 at the free throw line, 13 rebounds, 2 assists. Yeah, Henry Ellenson, a big-time player last night, won that game for the Wisconsin Herd. Justice Winslow, 16 points off the bench in 17 minutes, 4 of 11 from the field, 4 of 7 from 3, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals, a -11 for Justice. And also a double-double for their point guard, Akinjo, who had 19 points and 14 assists. So Wisconsin Herd sweeps the Raptors 905 for the season series 2-0. These are the only 2 games that they were going to play against them these 2 nights in a row. They go to 12-11. The Raptors 905 at one point were like 11-3, and now they're 12-11. So you tell me they've just fallen apart in the last month. The Wisconsin Herd are now 11-13. So yeah, that's what went down in the G League with the Raptors 905 last night. Not good stuff, man. Not good stuff. Choke with a 20-point lead at halftime to lose by 2 at the end. Really, really bad. Really, really bad. They got to fix this stuff, man. Monique is right. She's worried about this. And in some ways, Andrew Jones has done a good job. It's just that, like I said, I think the injury to Shamshay has had a huge impact on the 905's ability to win right now. That bodes well that like Shamshay is that good that he can add up to helping the 905 win regularly just from doing the intangibles and things he does without scoring. Well, he needs, man, it's too bad. We'll see him in Summer League next, but the rest of the season, in some ways, maybe they understand that this season's a wash for the 905 and they don't care. And in some ways, it may be just going through the motions. It is G League, it's development league. And in some ways, it's not totally important to try and win there. Although I will say over and over again, you win a championship on the G League, it could build a wave up to get a championship in the NBA because your players are that like that bench mob that the Raptors had that led up into a 2019 championship. So in some ways, we may not win the G League championship this year, but if we could circle back and be competitive for it next year with whoever's going to be on our team, hopefully some of the guys are there. I don't know. These rookies seem like they've escaped G League duties, and they're just going to be main NBA stars and players at this point. I don't know. We're going to have to see. It's crazy. Smooth saying I was screaming at the TV, man. He's screaming at the WWE and what was going on last night. And Trevor's laughing. That's funny. Nako saying, I love Maxey. A wee bit overrated. Sixers don't deserve him. You think that Maxey's overrated? I don't know if that's totally true. You know, he's like Quickly and a lot of other guys is very young, and he still has some ability to get better. You know, Maxey was considered for most improved player in the recent years because of the jump he made. I don't know, man. I don't know if he's overrated, Nako. I think that in some ways he gets overshadowed by Embiid, and in some ways on the Sixers, he's not looked at as. I think he may be their best player, honestly. I think he's better than Embiid. And in some ways, he's probably been their best player for a couple years on the down low, even with, Joel getting all the attention. So it's interesting. It's a very, very interesting. I don't think the Sixers deserve him either. I exactly agree with that. Yeah. Smooth saying, and Jade Cargill beating the shit out of Naomi. She played it perfectly, made it seem like she was going at Liv Morgan. That must have been in the women's elimination chamber. Yeah. A lot of eliminating in the chamber last night. That's right. Fiercely saying, good morning, fam, and happy game day. Let's make some magic over the magic. You can do magic. You can do anything your heart desires. Magic. Uh-oh, it's magic when I'm with you. Sing some Cars, sing some 80s songs. That's right. You can find them on my 80s playlist, those songs that I just sang. You can do magic. We're going to see Orlando versus Orlando today. Yes, right. A Robinson. Let's go in there and get them. Orlando Robinson and beat the Orlando Magic today. That's right. Orlando versus Orlando, 6 p.m. Eastern time. Tonight, Orlando Magic, Toronto Raptors at the Arena. Is it still the Arena? Arena. I love that they call the Orlando Arena the Arena for the longest time. Take the A off the front and put the O on there. It's the Arena. That's right. I like that. Comma Crazy's here to tell me no swearing on Sundays. Thank you, Comma Crazy. Adriana, don't you start swearing over there off the camera. Yeah, she's over there cussing right now, Comma Crazy. So it's kind of good that like she's not on camera right now because you see some huge F-bombs being dropped right now. Oh my gosh, what a naughty tongue you have. with your language. What? That's rude. That's rude. Oh my gosh, she's swearing up a storm like a sailor right now. Oh my gosh, that's right. I'm wearing her hat just so y'all see this fine, beautiful Raptors toque. It's like I gotta show some new stuff, so I'm wearing her toque right now, y'all. Smooth saying that they talked about Scotty Barnes on the broadcast yesterday as well. They said he really likes Bailey. Interesting. So the WWE was talking about the Raptors on the pay per view last night, and they're saying that Scotty likes Bailey. Yeah, Bailey was around for something. Oh, she did the All Star weekend. Yeah, Bailey was at NBA All Star weekend, and she played in the celebrity game. And well, she didn't really do a whole lot. She was just out there running cardio. And I don't even think she made any points or anything. It's just kind of for being there and stuff like that. Of course, we had one of the female wrestlers at one of the Raptors games recently, Chelsea. Chelsea Green was there with her belt. And Strizzy wanted to hold the belt. He's like, I'll hold the belt for you and stuff like that. He's like, he really wanted to hold that women's belt, that next women's champion belt. That's who she is, right? She's the women's next champion. And yeah, Strizzy was all about holding the belt. Let me hold the belt, Chelsea. You throw out the T-shirts to the crowd at Scotiabank Arena in the last home game we had. Yeah, cool stuff, man. Let's see. Smooth saying John Cena won the men's and Bianca Belair won the women's match. This is good. I need the WWE report. And in some ways, this is fine because this was in our home arena. This is Raptors Freak Channel. Well, in the home of the Raptors at Scotiabank Arena, there was WWE last night. And we're covering what happened. John Cena won the Elimination Chamber. He eliminated the other ones, and he is the Elimination Champion. Yeah. Does he get a big doo-doo prize? I don't know. That's really bad jokes, man. I think it is a really silly name, Elimination Chamber. I'm sorry. In some countries, they do call the bathroom that. They really do. Let's see. Stargate saying Goldust was funny. Yeah. You know, Dustin Reynolds was a very creative, talented performer. And the stuff with Goldust is insane. Like, it's such a weird character. It's so unique and so different. And of course, it's playing off some of the tropes of people like Gorgeous George and Adrian Street and people like that from before. But man, he did it so interesting himself. And Dustin's such a good old boy country guy from Georgia to get into that kind of mode of being Goldust. You know, man, he is so good. And then there, of course, there's the comedy period of being Goldust with Booker T when they're a tag team. And that stuff was just silly, man. When Goldust was teamed up with Booker T, that was hilarious stuff. But yeah, Dustin Reynolds is an amazing wrestler. He has such a long career, and he's one of the most intriguing, interesting characters in the history of wrestling. Goldust. Yeah, Goldust. Yeah. Kaz is saying smooth. I watched the Cena match. It was nostalgic for sure. There you go. I'm all about nostalgia. That's right. Smooth saying I was really sad they turned him heel. I have to give WWE credit. Nobody saw that happening. The way it was done was perfect. The whole arena was in shock. That's pretty cool. I mean, that's the way wrestling used to be. Heel turns, face turns are always the thing that, like, if you can really fool everybody, you did a good job. In some ways, wrestling got too predictable with the internet. People would not be able to keep secrets anymore. And people would give away what was going to happen all the time. And it was like, oh, this is boring. And the internet hurt wrestling really bad. Well, when they have a well-guarded secret like this and they let it happen and unveiled in front of people and it comes off like this, that's beautiful. I mean, I give a lot of credit to Vince not being around anymore is why wrestling's getting better right now, because the dude was messing things up near the end of him being in charge. And having people like Shawn Michaels and Triple H and The Rock in charge of WWE right now is better because these guys in some ways know how to do it the right way. And yeah, that sounds like that's fantastic. That's the kind of stuff you want for your fans in wrestling, is to shock them and make them kind of leave with their jaw dropped. And if they did that completely last night, that's fantastic. That is fantastic. Really, really crazy. Common Crazy saying 0-2. Let's go, Raptors. Stop censoring my shit, bitch. I don't even know what that is. I'm just saying. I mean, you're saying I'm supposed to cuss on Sundays, man. What's going on here? 0-2. Let's go, Raptors. So we're saying like the Hogan turn a lifetime ago. That one. So you're equating this to Hogan at Bash in the Beach when he came out as the third man with Hall and Nash? Seriously? It was that level of a heel turn. You think it was like when the NWO was created. It was that powerful of a heel turn. Really? That's saying a lot right there. The you say is just like Hogan when he turned to the spray-on beard. Trevor's saying Ulrich was that player on that team inside that every team respect because of his defensive presence. I know. And that is a big thing that's missing for them. They have no way to stop people right now. And that's part of the problem. There's people are just running to the basket and scoring on the Raptors 905 willy-nilly. And Shamshe's not there to guard the house. And that's a problem right now. Kaminsky is not that kind of center. And Lacey has not played well, so he's not even playing hardly at all. So it's tough, man. I really do feel like Shamshe leaving is the reason why the 905 have nosedived since. Nosedive, yeah. Stargate saying, I'm not feeling these new school WWE characters. Last character I liked was Bray Wyatt. That Rise in Power. That character had potential, but they changed it to Fiend, and his character, his Fiend character who I hated. Yeah, that was too supernatural and cartoonish and a little bit not tethered to reality, where it's like, okay, this is just getting stupid at this point. Some of this Firehouse, Firefly, or whatever house things. And, that match he had with John Cena was kind of interesting, but it was also ridiculous. The one where John was wearing the NWO stuff. And yeah, rest in peace, Bray Wyatt, a very interesting, weird wrestler, another multi-generation wrestler. Of course, his grandfather was Blackjack Mulligan and the son of Mike Rotundo and the nephew of Barry Windham. But it's tragic, his death. And man, in some ways, it's like he did have a very interesting character, very, very spooky. And when he was just doing the Bray Wyatt stuff before the Fiend, I completely agree with everything you're saying here, Stargate. Yeah. I didn't really watch all that stuff, but I kept tabs on it kind of loosely through like Jim Cornette's podcast. Kaz saying, "Ayo, what's up with all the new school wrestlers using everyone else's moves?" Yeah, I mean, it's funny. All right, I watched the Jake the Snake podcast, Jake the Snake Roberts, the Snake Pit. Really, really good podcast. It's the only wrestling podcast I'm watching at this point. Everybody else has pissed me off, and I don't want to watch them anymore. But I watch Jake still. And they asked Jake on his show once, everybody uses a DDT now, and they don't respect the power of it. And Jake hates this. He's like, yeah, they use my move, but nobody stays down for it anymore. And it's ruining wrestling. It's like they do the Canadian Destroyer. They do all these other moves, and they're supposed to take people out. And they're supposed to make them stay on the ground for like 10 minutes because they're just out. Somebody used to get a DDT, they're done for the day. But now they can do multiple DDTs to people, and people are springing right up from them. And it's really kind of messed up, the legacy of Jake the Snake's DDT. In some ways, that was part of his rules. Is like, if I put the DDT on you, you're done, and you're not getting back up. Well, new wrestling does not respect the power of the moves. And in some ways, it's made it look cheesy and jokey because the moves just aren't respected for their impact of what they could do. And that's a big problem with modern wrestling. AEW is the worst for this. And WWE does do it too, though, from what I hear. Yeah, let's keep going. Monica's saying Suggs out indefinitely. Yeah, out for the rest of the season. We will not see him in the next 2 days, next 2 games. And I'm not upset about that, honestly. I'm not upset about that. But I'm going to say this. The best 2 players on that team are Paulo and Franz. And those are the guys we got to watch out for today. It'll be a good test for the Raptors, the young stars of their team against our young stars. And, I want to see Scotty versus Paulo. That's always a good matchup. Benchero versus Barnes, RJ versus Franz. Yeah, we want to see these matchups today. And we want to see which core of young stars can get the W in Orlando tonight. That's right. I want to see a win for the Raptors. That's right. Trevor J saying the Sixers beat the Warriors. Some new guy for the Sixers scored 45 points. He was the best player. Well, let's go talk about that new guy. We're going to go ahead and go do the Instagram stories real quick because that is on there. First of all, we got Fortune J, who is Jared Roden, with an action shot from the 905 game last night. And there he is shooting a shot over Henry Ellenson, the guy who beat him. Let's see. Norman Powell's got some crazy film footage going on. I don't know. He's out and about. Let's see. Who else we got? Jamal Shed is showing his coach Sampson cutting down a net. Some things just don't change. The Houston's going to keep winning, and they're the champions of their conference, Big 12. And there it is. Kelvin Sampson holding up they got the cup again. And Jamal Shed, proud of his alma mater and his former team. There it is, right there. 44 points for Quentin Grimes. He is not him, is the new player that Trevor's talking about. And it's on Jamal Shed's Instagram. I guess he's friends with Quentin. And, well, they're proud of him for getting 44 points for the Sixers. The Sixers finally won their first game since the Eagles won the Super Bowl. Did y'all know that? That the Sixers had lost every single game since the Super Bowl until last night. And they won their first game. In fact, they lost to us in one of those games since the Super Bowl, too. Actually, we beat them the first game after the Super Bowl. And we will play the Sixers 2 more times this season. So we'll have to see if Scotty Barnes gets a chance to tell Quentin Grimes he is not him once again. So that's who it was, Trevor. It was he is not him that put the 44 points up for the Sixers yesterday. Shamshe is at MLS football game, soccer game in Orlando. Yeah, the team, some of the players for the Raptors went to the MLS Major League Soccer game in Orlando, Jacoby Walter and Ulrich Shamshay on their Instagram. At least those two guys were there. At least. I don't know, maybe more of the guys were there, but those are the two that posted something online of them doing that. There's all the 905 highlights. Here's Jacoby Walter hugging his friend Dennis, the player that we played the other day on Pacers. He's a friend of his from Baylor that he played on the team with him. They did a jersey swap after the game against the Pacers, Dennis and Walter. So, yeah, he's got a picture of his friend Ray J. Dennis. And there's Wubbs at the Orlando game, the Orlando soccer game with Shamshay last night. Emmanuel has a beautiful sunset in Florida with the palm trees in Orlando from his hotel room on his Instagram stories. Let's see what else we got. There's a McDonald's competition on Raptors official at Men, Beyond the Arc. Play it now. It's a video game and sponsored with McDonald's, and there's fries and stuff like that on there. If you want to play some little video game, something like that. There's also a chunky 24-second hot clock, something like that. They have so many different things going on with so many different sponsors with the Raptors in the 30th anniversary season. So now there's a chunky. You could win something, courtside tickets with chunky soup. Okay. And then Kalani Jewelers has a special 30th anniversary a pendant that you can buy. They're gold and silver with the 30th anniversary logo that the Raptors made this year and a nice jewelry thing. Kalani Jewelers, the official jewelers of the Toronto Raptors franchise. My gosh. Yes. Broke Baby Stunner. Eugene Omoruyi's got some people talking real stuff, and then he's putting on blast Mr. Banton. Look at that. Eugene Omoruyi showing love for another Toronto guy, Delano Banton, for the Portland Trailblazers, getting 23 points, 8 rebounds, and 3 3-pointers. So, yeah, yes, Sirski. Eugene Omoruyi, fan of our old guy, Delano. There's Malachi Flynn's Instagram story. Why did I do that? Because he got called up on a 10-day contract to the Charlotte Hornets from the Austin Spurs. So, Malachi, you're back in the NBA for 10 days. That's right. There you go. Let's see. Do we have anybody else we want to cover? There's Siakam with a nice hoodie in Indiana. Some game action against Miami in Miami, Florida. Yeah, there's our guy, 43. We love you, Siakam. Groat. Siakam is one of the Groats, baby. That's right. No denying that. And Toronto Tempo, Sephora gear. Well, if you didn't get the hat, it's too late now. The Sephora Tempo hat is off. Limited supplies, and they're gone. You can't get that Sephora hat no more. That's here. There's your Instagram stories real quick. Yeah, that was Quentin Grimes that scored 44 for the Sixers in the win last night for Nick Nurse's team. Finally winning in like a month. This is the first time they won. It's like they lost like 9 or 10 in a row. It's crazy. Stargate saying, I like Jade, but I don't like the storylines they put her in, especially this new Naomi storyline. Why do they have to put never mind. Oh, okay. Well, classically, it's interesting. In wrestling, they have paired people of the same ancestry or race against each other because it's just the way wrestling is in some ways. We can think back to old Mid-South and JYD versus the Natural Butch Reed. You can think about all these different times. And then it was Butch Reed versus Coco Beware in the WWF. I mean, they're going to do that. In some ways, it's interesting. In some ways, it's like, I don't know, wrestling's old school and redneck and weird. In some ways, it's not that it's segregated or anything like that. It's just that, they like that kind of a matchup. And maybe in some ways they can make it entertaining, because there's a shared experience between people that are like each other and they can really like have some pretty cool promos and stuff. But I get what you're going with this on Stargate. But this is kind of something they've always done. Wrestling is not PC. We know this. And there's a lot of racist tropes in wrestling. And, in some ways, there's been not a lot of success for people of color with championship belts in wrestling also. It's just the damn truth. So, it is what it is. But, yeah, Jade Cargill or whatever, she is a fantastic physical specimen. And she is very strong. And she is one of the rising stars in wrestling right now. That's for sure. I will say that. Yeah. Cass saying Quentin Grimes. That's right. That's who it was. It was him. He was him. He was him, Scotty. So he's saying, Lex, you have to watch it, man. Just watch it. Oh, you mean like I'm in trouble? I know I've been talking too much about Elon and Trump. And they were coming after me now. No, you mean I need to watch the Elimination Chamber? That's what you're saying. All right. Maybe I will. You guys are saying I should watch it. I guess I don't have to watch it live. It's still on there, right? I don't know. Maybe I'll talk Adriana into it. Maybe I'll talk into it. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, she doesn't want to watch it. She just said, I don't think so. She wants to watch Breaking Bad. We started it, and last night we watched the first 3 episodes. And man, it's so gritty and crazy. I haven't watched it in like over 10 years. So watching it again with her, and she's never watched it, I'm like, holy crap, are you sure you want to watch this whole series? Because it gets crazy. Breaking Bad gets crazy. Yeah. Cass is saying, yeah, it's because I saw in the women's match, there was someone using Sister Abigail. Do they not make their own moves up anymore? Well, I would say this: if it's a lady using a male's move, that's perfectly fine. You can take other people's moves like that. If you're a totally different kind of body type, a lot, there's only a certain amount of wrestling moves also. It used to be back in the day, the wrestlers had proprietary rights to moves and they would really fight for them. And they'd literally fight people in the back and say, no, you're not using the DDT. Jake the Snake would be like, no, you're not using the DDT. That's my move. I patent it. I'm the one who's known for it. Nobody else around here is using it ever. And they could get really, really protective of their moves. Often people, if they want to use the move, they'll ask for permission. Now, Sister Abigail is a retired move because the man who made it is dead. And in some ways, people doing that move at this point is like homage in some ways to Bray Wyatt's memory. So I don't get mad at this. In some ways, there's a limited amount of moves. And often, if it's a male that used the move, Sister Abigail, and it's a female that's using it now, that's a new twist. And that makes it fresh. So in that case, I wouldn't be against that. Let's just put it that way. Stargate saying the original Bray Wyatt entrance was one of the best entrances in history, up there with Undertaker, Austin, and The Rock. The music, the crowd waving their cell phones, the dark gave me chills, catching flies. Yeah, I went to a match around 2012, 2013 when he was in the Wyatt family, and it was in Tallahassee, and it was so creepy. And my current girlfriend at that time, she loved the Wyatt family because she was kind of a creepy little person herself. And she was like all into like the creepiness of them and how they're like, and like, you know what I mean? Yeah, they did have a really weird entrance with the lantern and the unsettlingness of it. They really did. I got the experience in real life at one match that I went to like way back then. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Let's see. Monica's saying, happy women's empowerment. Let's keep making change. This week is the We the World event. Beyond excited. And congratulations, Kevon Harris. Good to see he's back in the league. Yeah. All right. I'm going to parse this out each one. Yes, this month, Women's Empowerment Month. There's new jerseys for the 905 that they're going to be wearing very soon. They released the look and the reasoning behind the design. And that's fantastic. So 905 will have their women's empowerment jerseys on at some point this month that we'll see. And the We the World event is coming up. This is crazy. All right. Mo is so lucky. She is so lucky she's going to this event. The whole team will be there. Masai will be there. They're celebrating Giants of Africa. A ton of this stuff is going to be proceeds are going to Giants of Africa and other things like that. This is usually the event that costs thousands of dollars to go to. This is the premium Raptors event that like you have to pay like $5,000 to go to, that she's going to. And I'm so glad she gets to be in there and be at this event. Seriously, because it's the one that, is a dream for any Raptor freak to go to. Because literally, if you pay a certain price, you get access to Scotty. You get to stand next to him and talk to him if you pay enough money at this event. So I'm so happy Mo's going. In some ways, we want her to be there so she can see what's going on and tell us what happened there. And I'm so jealous in some ways. I know she said on the chat she only got like a couple tickets, so she can only take one person. She's probably going to take a family member like her mom or somebody. But yeah, I wouldn't expect you to try and take me to that event. That event costs a lot of money. And I don't have the money to go to that event myself. I don't probably think I would because I can't spend that kind of amount of money on just an event like that. But I am so happy you have been invited and that you can go there and be there as a representative of the RFF, and also just to kind of, enjoy yourself because you deserve it. And you get to be in one of the premier best events of the year. Seriously, this is the big time thing. This is the thing where the very, very rich people that love the Raptors, who want to hobnob with all the players and the coaches and everybody, Nav, that's what this is. And Mo's going to get to go to it this week. That's fantastic. That is fantastic. I love that so much. I love that so much that she's going. Kevon Harris got signed. Who did he go up to? Like, who called him up? Is he on Orlando? Because I don't see him on the roster for Orlando right now. I want to go look this up real quick. Kevon got called up. So where did he go? I want to see. Kevon Harris is on the Atlanta. Oh, he got called up to the Hawks. So he's playing in the Hawks right now still. There you go. He was on their G League team, and I guess they needed somebody called up. So he just got called up to the Hawks. So he's back in the league on the Hawks. He was kind of been a two-way player the last few years already. I mean, he was playing for both the Magic and Lakeland Magic the last couple years, but now he's in the Hawks team, the Skyhawks, and then now he's going to be a regular Hawk. Cool, interesting stuff right there. Nako saying I've rewatched Breaking Bad 10 times. There you go. Could you imagine that, Adriana, watching that crazy show? I mean, we just saw the episode where they had the guy in the basement with the lock around his neck. And I forgot how tense that episode is with like Walter trying to talk to him. And like he finds out he's a kid that was at the furniture store where he bought the crib for his son. And he's like humanizing the guy. And then it's like the whole thing with the plate and the shard missing and how he figures out that he's got that shard. It's just so brilliantly shot and written. And it's just so deep. It's so deep. And it's really kind of crazy. It's a weird show, Breaking Bad. And seeing Walter White break to the bad is wow. It's crazy. But yeah, I think she's liking it so far. You enjoyed Malcolm in the Middle. Now we're going to watch Bryan Cranston and Breaking Bad. That's right. That's right. She's all about it. That was Stargate saying, fuck that. I want to see Jade versus Charlotte or Jade versus Mommy. Mommy? Who's Mommy? I don't know who Mommy is. Who's Mommy? Mommy? Is there somebody named Mommy right now? Well, I'm sure that Jade's going to get the big time people at some point. You know who I want to see Jade fight? I know she might have fought her already. Is Camille. I don't even know where Camille is right now. I've seen she was at an event with Jim Cornette recently in a picture. But Camille, holy cow, she's a talent. I really like Camille. She is a talent. She was on TNA for a long time. I don't know who she's with right now. But man, Camille versus Jade, I think that did happen somewhere already. I just don't watch wrestling that closely right now. I really don't. Smith saying Drake in the crowd last night. He didn't announce it though. He was in the front, right behind the WWE announcers. Yeah, okay. In some ways, he's not allowed to talk on that show either. Yeah, I don't know. Drake, yeah, he just got to put his face out there. That's fine. But yeah, I don't know. In some ways, Drake's had such a fall in the last year. I used to really support Drake and stand with him, but I can't anymore. He's just made so many fumbles in the last year. And in some ways, I'm not proud of you being part of Raptors Nation at this point, Drake. I just am not. I wish you'd go try and change the world for the better, Drake, instead of just being a fuckboy. It'd be much better if you used your power and your platform to be like trying to make the world a better place, because we need artists that do that. You know, who would be your equivalent back in the day? Marvin Gaye or something like that? Maybe that's not a good example. Marvin Gaye was singing songs that had something about the world and political impact. Why can't we have artists do this anymore that hit that mainstream? Drake, you have a responsibility to shape culture and shape things. And instead of just like worrying about your own dating life and your BS that you do to women, why don't you sing about something that's worthwhile, Drake? How about that? How about that? You know, even people like, I mean, I'll say, Don Glover, Childish Gambino, Tyler, the Creator, Kendrick. These people are all doing things that matter in some ways with their statements or their music. Meanwhile, Drake's just singing about Hotline Bling and all this kind of bullshit. So I'm like, man, Drake, you want to get respect with me again? Make an album that actually matters for something like socially in this society and makes the world a better place instead of just your bullshit that you keep putting out. Recycle beats with you just mumbling over them. Yeah, sorry, I burned Drake today, guys. I just burned the hell out of Drake just now. Adriana saying, I will watch wrestling when you watch at least 3 rom-coms. See, this is the deal. We have to bargain on this. And I don't know if I want to watch Elimination Chamber so bad that I have to sit through Notting Hill and, all these other girly movies. So in some ways, we'll just take the medium in the Breaking Bad, and I don't need to see Elimination Chamber. So I don't have to watch Dirty Dancing and Notting Hill. And what's another movie you'd make me watch? 4 Weddings and a Funeral. Which one? Under the Tuscan Sun. Okay, guys. So no, 3 rom-coms for Elimination Chamber. I'm not willing to make that deal, guys. Sorry. So I'll just pass. But maybe I'll sneak on Netflix and watch Raw or something on Monday or something. Maybe I'll watch Raw on Monday. See the after effects of the Elimination Chamber on Monday night on Live Raw on Netflix. There you go. There you go. You watch some of Raw?
I'll watch the other thing with you.
Okay, now she's saying she'll watch a little bit of Elimination Chamber. I don't know. We'll have to see. The name is saying, Lex, that hat you're rocking is pure, lest we forget. Awesome. You like that? You like that? It's fire. It's fire. Pure fire. Yeah, I like it. She's got one like this color and a burgundy one. Same style, same hat with the Raptors logo on the middle of it. Yeah, she's always repping. She has the best sweatshirt I've ever seen. The Raptor sweatshirt. You got to come over here and show them. please, because this is the most amazing Raptors sweatshirt I've ever seen in my life. I've never seen anything like it before, and in some ways, I might have to turn the camera so y'all can see her. But look at this shirt. Like, all right, like show the front. This is like this is a patch. This is like a gold Raptors patch over it. He's got the NBA logo here, real nice on the end. This is a nice picture of the Raptor. Look at how cute that is with the Raptors face. And then on this side, we got the Raptors logo on here, and even on top of the hood. It says Raptors across the top. It's all stitched in patches. And it's beautiful. I was like, holy crap, where'd you get this sweatshirt? It's the best Raptors sweatshirt I've ever seen. It was expensive too, wasn't it?
A little bit.
It wasn't like a cheap one because all those patches are stitched in. I'm like, holy crap, she's got the coolest Raptors sweatshirt I've ever seen. That Raptor head on the front of it is awesome. I'm just saying. Yeah, there you go. She has some fire Raptor stuff. I'm telling you. She does. She has some fire Raptor stuff, and she gets me fire Raptor stuff all the time. Like she got me these shoes. Babe, can you get the shoes for me over here? They're underneath next to the weight. Here, she'll get me the shoes in a second. Smooth saying he was dressed like he was hiding himself. He told WWE not to talk about him. Drake was wearing a disguise. He's like he didn't want them to show. Yeah, you can just give me one of them if you want. Here you go. She got me these sandals last year. I needed new like kind of sandals to wear without putting my shoes on. And look at these Raptors gold, nice sandals. It's really cool, man. Yeah, we get the swag here. We got that Raptor swag. That's right. That's right. So Drake was incognito. Man, it's so funny. They didn't want him to talk about him. Cool Gats here. Good morning, crew. Good morning, Raptor Free crew. Good morning to you, coach. Another opportunity for a young team to try and get a dub. Yeah, this will be a good battle. You know, the Magic and our team are a little similar in some ways. They're a little further along with their core, but in some ways we're very, very similar. And in some ways I could make the argument that we're in the same place. It could very well be next year that we're right next to each other in the standings. Seriously. And that's in the top 6 of the playoffs. Yeah. I could see both Orlando and us being up there next year. I think that Detroit will be up there too. And some of these teams that have been kind of in the middle are going to fall down, like maybe Miami and Atlanta. And maybe even a team like Philadelphia will still be down there too. So it'll be interesting to see the shakeup for the Eastern Conference in the NBA next year. The Raptors are going to come up and take a spot in the top 6 next year. I know it. I already know it. As long as we're healthy next year, we'll do that. And, Orlando's similar to us. They have a lot of very good young players, and they could be very similar in some ways coming up and being a little bit more winning next year. Once again, all this matters is on injuries and who's not missing games. And Orlando's missed a lot of games with key players, and that's part of the reason why they're middling this year. Middling. That's right. Yeah. Nameless saying, I'm also rewatching Breaking Bad at the moment. Top 3 show of all time. I've watched it probably 8 times, and every time I do, I learn more and more about the story and characters. It's the same thing. I started watching it last night again, and I'm like, holy crap, there's all these tells about what happens later that I didn't catch the first time I saw it. There's like little details and little things and things that they say early in the season that kind of lead to things later. And you're like, holy crap, this is part of the reason why this happened and this happened. I totally forgot that Skylar went over to Jesse's house and confronted him in the driveway until that part. And that kind of shapes a whole part of how Jesse and Walter's relationship is, because he feels like he's used his wife to come at him. There's some really interesting stuff if you really, really, really pay attention. It's very, very interesting. Yeah, very, very interesting. All right, let's keep going. This is fun. We're kind of covering a lot of different topics today. This is a Raptors Freak, wrestling Breaking Bad hour here right now. That's right. Let's see. Let's keep going. Stargate saying, I love that creepy stuff in wrestling, Lex. I love the Papa Shango character back in the day. Charles Wright, Papa Shango, the Godfather later. Yeah, he was interesting. That he hated doing that gimmick because he felt like he was messing with real voodoo, and he did not like that. He was like, I don't want to deal with this stuff because I don't want any kind of weird things happening in my life because I'm playing a voodoo character. One of the greatest creepy gimmicks ever in the history of wrestling was Kevin Sullivan in the state of Florida. He was so good at being creepy and satanic in his character on Florida. And they were really good at keeping kayfabe back there. There was no internet. People really actually thought he was satanic, like in real life, because he would go out to grocery stores in the state of Florida and he'd wear his makeup and act like he was satanic with his robe on. And it really reinforced the gimmick for people that go to wrestling, because they'd be like at the grocery store There's Kevin Sullivan doing his grocery shopping, and he looks the same as he does in wrestling with his satanic look, with the little face paint and like a little hood over his head. It's crazy. He really did. He is really like the original Bray Wyatt, Kevin Sullivan. So check out any old Florida wrestling stuff that you can see with a great Kevin Sullivan who passed away in the recent years. He was phenomenal with the kayfabe and really buying into, like, I was a little kid when he was around like that, and I totally thought he was satanic for real when I was going to wrestling, Florida wrestling as a kid in the 80s. Yeah, so check out Kevin Sullivan, Stargate, for sure. Smooth Brown Manson, I'm rewatching Breaking Bad after watching Better Call Saul. It made for a whole new experience. So should we have started with Better Call Saul in front of Breaking Bad? Because I forget, is that before? That is before Breaking Bad. It's like the prequel. I don't know. We will probably watch Better Call Saul too, but I think I'll watch it afterwards, even though maybe we should have watched it in that order you're saying right there. Trevor's saying Steph Curry became the first player at 30 years old in NBA history to have 9 50-point games in NBA history. That's a crazy that stat. You know, Steph's awesome. That February 27th thing where he scored 50 points at different times in his career around that date is very interesting. Of course, Steph Curry's a great. You know, he's going to play for a couple more years and he's going to be gone. So we, you know, in some ways we want to appreciate him while he's still playing and watch him while we can. That's right. Let's see. Trevor's saying Breaking Bad is my show. Love the gangsters. He loves the gangsters in Breaking Bad. Yeah. You like the gangsters in Breaking Bad, Adriana? She has to watch more. Yeah. She hasn't seen Tuco or any of that stuff come up yet. Of course, the chicken place and, so you don't care about spoilers. You're always asking me what's going to happen. And then I have to tell you what happens ahead of time. She's like somebody who wants spoilers. Like in some way she wants me to tell her what happens the episode before it happens. So she's not scared, but like surprised or something like that. I don't know. She doesn't mind that. Yeah. Let's see. Kaz is saying, anybody remember the Boogeyman or Tajiri? Yeah, Boogeyman was a little bit after I stopped watching wrestling, but I've seen his gimmick. He's really weird. But Tajiri, he's one of my favorites. He was one of my favorite ECW wrestlers. Yoshihiro Tajiri is an amazing wrestler. He is so good. The way that he moves in the ring is just flawless. He had such good acrobatics, bouncing off the ropes, and some of his submission holds, top notch. That tarantula he used to do, holy crap! He'd tie guys up upside down on the ropes with a crazy ass move. And of course, he was in the tradition of the Japanese wrestlers with the green mist. And he was also a really good comedic wrestler. Considering he didn't really speak English that well, he was so funny on WWE, especially the stuff he did with Steven Regal when they were the commissioner and his helper. Those little skits were gold. Yoshihiro Tajiri is one of the greatest Japanese wrestlers ever. And he's not really in that category with the Misawa and, Inoki, all the amazing Japanese wrestlers that are heralded over there. In some ways, Tajiri's heralded on this continent more than he is over in Japan. And that's an interesting thing. Like Muta. Him and Muta are probably two of the most important Japanese wrestlers in the United States. So, yeah, I love Tajiri. You just brought up Yoshihiro. Well, he's a hero to me. I liked him. Yeah. Stargate saying, I love different creative interests. Music, not the monotonous hard rock, heavy metal interests that the 90% of the wrestlers have now. It's boring. Yeah, that's one of the cool things about being a wrestler. You kind of make your own motif, your own feel, your own kind of thing. In some ways, it's a seedling from your own personality. Like Stone Cold Steve Austin is just himself times 10 times 100. That kind of stuff is fun. It's very fun and stuff like that. Let's see. Mommy is Rhea Ripley. Okay, yeah, that's who Mommy is. They're calling her Mommy. It's so stupid. There used to be a wrestler that used to run around with Jimmy Valiant called the Big Bad Mama, Big Bad Mama, and she was this crazy woman with a crazy like curly hair on top, and she wasn't even really a wrestler. She was like a porn star or a stripper or something. She had huge fake boobs. And Big Bad Mama, she'd come to the ring with a Boogie Woogie Man, Jimmy Valiant. And I'm talking about the 80s. She was Big Bad Mama. That's what they called her. Nako's saying, get in the background on Gus. You better call Saul before you meet him in Breaking Bad is crazy. See, that's the thing. So I don't know. Adriana, should we pivot? And we've seen the first 3 episodes. Should we start Better Call Saul instead and do the prequel? Maybe. I'll let you think about it and we can decide. This is good that y'all told us now because we've only 3 episodes into Breaking Bad. We could switch it up and go in as Better Call Saul first to get it in the right order. Ah, man, I'm glad you guys are talking about this right now. Rhea Ripley is mommy. That's so weird, man. Monique is saying me, Kareem, and G were in the 905 chat last night. I was there too. I saw Tom Duke was there too. Salute Tom Duke, a real Raptors freak. We love you, Tommy. I know you're a real diehard fan of the Raptors, and I love you for that. And we may not agree on some things, but that's fine. You're a real Raptors fan. I love you, Tom, for that. And I was happy to see him in there with you guys. I was in there too. I just wasn't commentating because I was watching the game, but also watching Breaking Bad at the same time. We had 2 screens up, and I was just kind of keeping track of the 905 game while we watched Breaking Bad last night. So Kaz is saying, Drake is so weird. Why not just watch from home if you don't want the broadcasters talking about you? I know. He is weird, man. In some ways, he wants his face out there. He's an attention whore. You know, to agree, Drake's going to want attention so somehow, some way. And, well, I don't know. He's that big of a wrestling fan. Did he bring Adonis? Did he have his kid there with him? Or was he just there by himself? Did he have any of his guys or friends there at all? Was he just there by himself? This is so weird, man. It is weird, Kaz. You're right. Why didn't you just stay home? If you didn't want to be on there or whatever, it's weird, man. Yeah, Drake stays in his own lane, man. I guess. I don't know. That's one way of putting it. Nako's saying 500 Days of Summer, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, and Marriage Story. Watch those films. I've watched Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. That's a weird movie. That's not the normal Jim Carrey movie. That's for sure. You never seen that? Well, it's not really a comedy. It's a really weird, dark kind of psychedelic movie. It's very strange. Very, very strange movie. The other 2, I don't even know anything about. Yeah.
Have you ever seen 500 Days of Summer? Oh my God.
No, who's in that?
Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I forget who the
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah.
Okay, Broseph Gordon-Levitt. Okay, and a Marriage Story. I don't. That's the one with Scarlett Johansson and Adam Driver, right? That one I think I did see, and that's just about like a couple that kind of goes south and gets all messed up. Are you trying to give me like rom-coms for her category? Would these be considered rom-coms?
I did 500 Days of Summer. I've never seen Marriage Story.
Marriage Story is a rom-com, or not a rom-com. It's a romantic kind of movie. The other one, I don't really think of Eternal Sunshine of Spotless Mind like that, but maybe Nako does. Stargate saying the Midnight Express had great entrance music. So did Harlem Heat. Totally Stargate. Yeah. Ice. Booker T, Harlem Heat, Stevie Ray. Man, they had the fire. They literally had a fire song because they would shoot fire out when they come out. And you go like that. Booker T would do that. Yeah, I love that stuff. And Midnight Express, of course, they had the great Giorgio Moroder as their theme song, The Chase, from the movie Midnight Express. That is a song. Yeah, that was that got things going when Midnight Express were coming out with Jim Cornette. And when you heard that music, it was like it started building like it was just a really good entrance song. Really, really good one. You know, that song that the Bulls used, Cirrus, by Alan Parsons Project, that song was used by some wrestlers in the 80s too. That song that the Bulls are known with, that kind of start Ricky the Dragon Steamboat used to come out to, Sirius by Alan Parsons. And that's a similar kind of song to The Chase by Giorgio Moroder that the Midnight Express came out to. It really builds a lot of like energy. Like, that Bulls song that they used to use for Michael Jordan and the Bulls when they were winning the 90s. Yeah, that song Sirius is what it's called. Yeah, that's good stuff. Cass is asking, is that Adriana? Yeah, that was Adriana. I just showed you with the hoodie on, the Raptors hoodie. That's right. I had to show that. Yeah, it looks good. Very expensive sweater. Yeah, it was a nice one. It's over $1, right?
What?
It's over $1.
Yeah, it's very nice and thick and warm.
It's very nice and thick and warm. She wore it to the game that she went to recently against Miami on Caribbean night. Yeah, I just think it's just awesome. I saw a kid wearing it on the Raptors game the other day. I was saying, hey, that kid has Adriana's hoodie. It's like, wait, that kid has Adriana's hoodie. Yeah, it's very comfy, and she's warm in it. That's what matters, and she's repping. That's right. That's the thing. She's repping our team. That's right. There you go. That's right. Go Raptors. See, Adriana's ready. She's got her gear on. She's ready to sit here with me and watch the Magic game later and hopefully cheer them on to victory. That's right. That's right. Stargate saying, nah, Lex, Dirty Dancing was a good movie. Don't put it on that list. No, I agree. Dirty Dancing is a good movie.
It's just it was one of my default rom-coms to add into the list. I'll watch Dirty Dancing. I've seen it.
Oh, will you?
Oh, hell. Hell. Dang it. I should have said that. I'm in trouble now. Now I've had the time of my life. So no. Smith saying WWE has to get celebrities' permission prior to panning the camera on them. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, in some ways, often the celebrities come in because they invited them. You know, it's just like the Raptors. They may give them free courtside tickets and say, Chelsea Green, come sit at the Raptors because we want you to be here to cross promote the pay-per-view that you guys are doing later this month. You know, it's really like that. You know, they've had, different athletes and people come to the Raptors games. They want people to come, celebrities like Sylvester Stallone, Samuel L. Jackson used to. So in some ways, the wrestling wants that too. They want the cross promotion. They want other people and other celebrities to come in. They usually want to show them, but I guess Drake just want to be incognito. It's weird, man. It's weird. Mike's here. Good to see Mike. Project Truth always, Mike. Patrick Swayze is goated. Try Ghost. Ghost?
Ooh, that's a good one too.
You guys. Yeah, Ghost with Demi Moore and Patrick Swayze and Whoopi Goldberg. That's right. Yeah, that one's got a Unchained Melody as their main song. They're on the clay wheel.
Yeah.
And it's, oh, my love, my darling, I hunger for your touch, and lonely times. I'm pulling out the Bill Medley right there. Holy crap, man. All right, let's keep going. Kaz is saying, try 51st dates. There you go. Man, what are y'all trying to do to me right now? Seriously, what are y'all trying to do to me? She's taking notes. She's writing them down, y'all. Damn it. Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore, of course. She had the amnesia. And every single day, Adam Sandler had to make the day with Drew Barrymore because she couldn't remember every day. That's a crazy one. Yeah. Stargate saying Boogeyman. I remember him. Yeah. Boogeyman was always eating those nasty worms. Yeah. Boogeyman is actually an African-American wrestler, y'all. Did y'all know that? Yeah, with all the makeup and everything with them, a lot of people didn't realize that in some ways. Yeah. Nako's saying the stuff that sticks out to me the most when rewatching is the foreshadowing for Jane. Also, how early they introduce Brock. Yeah. There you go. Adriana's like, what's going on here? Spoilers? Nako's giving spoilers?
That's okay. I just said thank you for the movie suggestions.
Okay, she's writing in on the chat. She's on the chat on her computer across the room from me. All right, let's see. Fiercely saying she loves the hoodie. Adriana, I think it's amazing, y'all. If y'all can find it, get that funny happy Raptors face smiling Raptor hoodie. That's what I'm gonna call it, the smiling Raptor hoodie, because it's really nice hoodie. It's the best sweatshirt I've ever seen for the Raptors. Kaz is saying, Lex, I'll be going to the Raps game on March 10th against the Wizards with my wife and son. That's awesome, man. I love that. Has your son ever gone to a Raptors game? That'd be awesome, man. Yeah, Wizards. We should win that one. March the 10th is coming up quick. That's next week. So, yeah, fantastic, Kaz. I'd love to hear that you're going with the family and you're going to go down and get a Raptors game in. Fantastic stuff. I hope you guys have a good time, and I hope the Raptors win. They should. It is the Wizards. They better win. Nako's saying Better Call Saul starts before Breaking Bad but ends after Breaking Bad. Oh, so it's like, I see. So it incorporates over. I'm glad you're clarifying this. So maybe we should just stay on Breaking Bad. And we'll do that because I don't want to spoil things for the end of Breaking Bad because we watch all the way to the end of Better Call Saul. Sure. The other thing about Better Call Saul is it's kind of more jokey and not as serious as Breaking Bad, right? It's a little bit more fun because it's around Saul Goodman and not Walter White is not the main character. Saul Goodman is. And you'll have to learn who that is. You have no idea who that is yet. Saul Goodman, yeah. Yeah. Kaz is saying Tuco is a crazy MFer. Yeah, we're going to get to see Tuco today probably because we'll keep watching and Tuco will be coming on soon. She'll get to see Tuco and she's going to remember that we talked about him this morning when we watched that episode. Fiercely saying, what a turnaround for Detroit. I'm sincerely happy for them as I always root for the underdogs. Yeah, that's where in some ways that's a common root of our channel is we root for underdogs. And this is why I ain't going to stand for people simping for Elon Musk. Is because I root for underdogs, not the richest man in the world with his bullshit. I root for the underdogs. I root for what's right and just, the people that are under that need to come up. And I'm totally like that too, Fiercely. And good job, Detroit Pistons, JB Bickerstaff, and what y'all have done this year. Fantastic. I'm not a hater like this. And like I said before, in some ways, the success of the Detroit Pistons is another symbol of Dwayne Casey's amazing development as a coach. He's an amazing developing coach. And he did that for our Raptors in the 2010s. And he helped the Mavericks get a championship as a defensive coach. And now, in some ways, he laid the early steps for the Detroit Pistons to be where they are right now with what he did, helping them a couple years ago. So Dwayne Casey, some of the success for the Detroit Pistons needs to be given to Coach Case, is what I'm saying right now. That's right. So we're saying, no, Better Call Saul is designed to be watched after Breaking Bad. It is a prequel show, but there's a flash forwards to after Breaking Bad. So you must watch it after. Okay, I'm glad we clarified all this. We got this right. Man, y'all are really helping me today, except for the rom-coms, y'all. You're not helping me with that. Guys said, yeah, I love his spider move and those crazy sprays of mist in the face. Yeah, Yoshihiro Tajiri, amazing wrestler. So agile. And you know what? He had a high flyer stuff, but also the technical submission stuff like a Bret Hart or a Kurt Angle. Yeah, he was awesome, man. I love Tajiri. I really do love Tajiri. So we're saying it's the story of Saul, the lawyer. That's right. Saul Goodman. You see his name is Saul Goodman. It's Saul Goodman. Isn't that interesting? You like that? And Saul Goodman is, of course, Bob Odenkirk of Mr. Show fame. And Adriana's going to see him. And he's like, I know this guy, this actor. I've seen him in a lot of stuff. He's funny. Yeah, he is funny. He's a very funny actor. Very, very funny. Bob Odenkirk is awesome. Just like Bryan Cranston. Those two guys are both really good actors. Really, really good actors. Stargate saying, yes, Lex. Kevin Sullivan was a favorite of mine as well. Creepy. So creepy. So creepy. He had people actually believing he was satanic. He actually had the real Satanists come in the wrestling matches. Seriously. He had fans that were coming that were from real Satan groups. And they'd sit in the front row. And he had nothing to do with them. It's so crazy. It was so weird back then in Florida in the early 80s before the territory system was ripped down by Vince McMahon and the WrestleMania and the cable television. Well, we were still able to have territories. Wow. And I'm so happy I was alive while the territories were still alive. And I started going to wrestling then because I could see the difference between championship wrestling from Florida versus the World Wrestling Federation and the AWA and all that stuff. That's right. Mike's saying, not gonna lie, one of my favorite movies is The Wrestler. Mickey Rourke is so good in it. That is an amazing movie, Mike. I love that movie too. Randy the Ram. It's so good. And Mickey Rourke is so powerful in that movie. You know, Mickey Rourke had a really good career in the 80s. He kind of went through it for a while. And then he came back around, and the wrestler kind of revived his career. You know, Hulk Hogan has said that he was supposed to be starring in that movie. He's so stupid. He's lying. It's another Hulk Hogan lie. The other thing is I heard Jake the Snake, once again, on his podcast talk about The Wrestler, that movie before. And he said it is really kind of very realistic to what wrestlers' lives are like, Mickey Rourke in that movie. That is such a good movie. And that scene when he's working at the grocery store in the deli, wow, such good stuff. Such a good movie. I might have to rewatch that movie, honestly. I haven't seen it in a while. And The Wrestler is a very good movie, Mike. Cheers to you, man. Seriously, I'm with you on that. Mo's saying I'm also highlighting it's CP Awareness Month, guys. Cerebral Palsy Month is March, y'all. And to show solidarity with Adriana and Monique, you can wear green and show support for them. Wear a green ribbon or wear green clothes in the month of March for Cerebral Palsy Awareness Month. And this is something for me that hits real hard at home because there's been very important people in my life since I was a little kid that have CP. And, you know, I think that people need to be aware of CP. And, you know, it's really interesting watching Breaking Bad with Walter Jr. and that great actor with CP acting as his son. He did such a good job in that role. And he does the whole thing of having a disability justice and showing that he's just an average person, everyday kind of kid. And they did such a good job writing that up in Breaking Bad. So, you know, this is CP Awareness Month. And we're going to be talking about this all month because this.
Epilepsy Purple Day on March 26th.
Okay. And she wants to say that it's Epilepsy Purple Day on March 26th also. All right. There you go. We will definitely be being aware of CP all month long. Monique, bring it up as often as you want. Seriously. And if you want to bring up any specifics, like Trevor was doing Black History Moments last month, If you want to bring up anything like that that you want to share any day this month, please, we would love for you to share that kind of stuff this month. That's right. Cass saying, I forgot about that movie, Mike. Yeah. Don't forget Medusa Michelli. Yeah, Alundra Blaze. Yeah, Medusa, who threw the WWF Women's Championship in the garbage when she showed up on WCW Nitro. Yeah, Medusa is a really good wrestler. She had a long career, and she's one of the few wrestlers that wrestled in every single company you could wrestle in. She wrestled in everything: AWA, WCW, WWF, ECW, TNA. I think she's been on every single major wrestling company, including extensive work in Japan also. Yeah, she's a very good wrestler, Medusa. Don't forget Medusa. That's what Trevor's saying right here. Stargate saying the original Finn Balor's character and music was really good too before he got injured and came back. They changed him up when he came back from injury. Okay. Yeah, I don't really know much about Finn Balor because he's after my time, but I've seen he wears makeup and he's kind of a high flyer kind of wrestler. So I can't really opine on this. Stargate's asking me, do I remember Abdullah the Butcher? Oh, yeah, I do. Oh, yeah. He's a hot button topic currently in wrestling because a lot of wrestlers hate him or a lot of fans hate him because of his hepatitis controversy. That, Abdullah is a weird guy. He's from Windsor. He's Canadian, guys. Larry Shreve is from Windsor, Ontario, and he's a Canadian guy. And Abdullah, he started wrestling in the 50s, y'all. He's been around forever. He's still alive, which is amazing, honestly, considering the life he's had. It's still amazing. But I love Abdullah the Butcher. I know a lot about him. And screw you, Hannibal, for putting out all that stuff about him with the Hep C and making a lot of current fans hate Abdullah the Butcher. It's not fair. Listen, I'm going to say this. Holier than thou people that judge Abdullah the Butcher for his hepatitis giving and what he did. He's not the only one that was doing this shit. And throughout the history in the 70s and the 80s that had something and they not even known he had it. That's the thing. Abdullah's illiterate. Let's just say this right now. The man doesn't know how to read or write. And in some ways, he got scammed out a bunch of money during his wrestling career. In some ways, he's not really a very intelligent guy. He's not like he purposely went out there and tried to give people Hep C. It's just that he just lived the wrestling life and he was a butcher and they carved each other up. And some people saying he tried to purposely give people Hep C is bullshit. He's just a dumb guy. He's illiterate. He didn't understand what he was doing. And trust me, there were probably about a couple dozen other wrestlers that did the exact same thing he did, except he's going to get the stigma for it. I don't like that. He's a hardcore legend and one of the greatest wrestlers to ever live because he had decades and decades of good work. And when he was younger, Abdullah Butcher was one of the most lithe and agile wrestlers. You'd be surprised if you saw early Abdullah in like the early 60s. You could look him up and watch him wrestle in the 60s. You'd be shocked at how quick he was and how he moved around in the ring. He's really, really an interesting wrestler. I do remember Abdullah the Butcher. I do remember Abdullah the Butcher's house of Chinese food and ribs in Atlanta, Georgia. My brother went and ate there before it closed down. Chicken and waffles and Chinese food. That's what you can get at Abdullah's restaurant. That's right. A great Canadian, Larry Shreve. That's right. Kareem saying Breaking Bad is still the best cooking show since Julia Child. Does that deserve a dunk? Do you think that's funny? You do? All right, Kareem, you're getting a dunk from Adriana. She giving you an assist on that one. That's the best cooking show since Julia Child. All right, what about our guy up here, Juan? What about that guy cooking with that guy? I'm talking about the Canadian content here. Come on. Why can't we say that's the best cooking show? Or what about Iron Chef or something like that? Come on now, Kareem. All right, you got another one, man. You're at 48 now on the dunk sheet. 48 points for Kareem on his dunks right there. There you go. Mike saying a spotless mind about Jim Carrey erasing the memories of his former girlfriend from his mind. He jumps through memories. Yeah, I remember that movie. In fact, I might have been on psychedelics when I watched it. So it made it even more confusing to me because I may have been on LSD when I watched it. I don't even remember, but I watched it a long time ago. Yeah, it's a weird movie. It's not the normal Jim Carrey movie. That's for sure. Don't expect to go and watch it and be laughing like you're watching Ace Ventura. That's for sure. Yeah. That's for sure. All right, let's see. Trevor J saying Randy tried to take Kevin Owens out. Randy Orton tried to take out KO, old Kevin Owens, old Canadian guy, Kevin Owens. What is his name? His real name is something. Jim Cornette always calls him by his real name. Kevin Steen, right? Kevin Steen. Yeah, so Randy Orton tried to take him out. Okay, good. Somebody needs to take out Kevin Owens, that bastard. Mike is laughing about that. Adriana's saying, thank you for the movie suggestions. I will remember them. Lex is in for a fun time. Thanks, guys. Thanks a lot. Thanks, guys, for the suggestions. Yeah, thank you. Really? Oh, great. Yeah. She's smiling real big over there. That's right. Trevor J saying, you guys remember that Toronto show Electric Circus dance show back in the day? Of course. Why not? Let's just bring in regular circus too. Yeah. My old boss at the Kensington Variety VIP Club, the Kensington Variety store, Mary, was a dancer on Electric Circus. And she would bring it up all the time. I'd be working, and it's like, oh, I used to go to Electric Circus and dance. It was just the best times back then, dancing in the window and being on TV and dancing for Electric Circus. Yeah, I remember Electric Circus back when the City TV building meant something and wasn't just a shell that Bell has just made it just a building now. It's so sad that building lost all its character when Bell came in and took it over and messed it all up. It had so much good things going on in that corner, John and Queen. It's all messed up now. No Speaker's Corner, no Electric Circus, no in the street concerts, much music awards. None of that shit anymore down there. You ruined it, Bell. Corporations ruin everything. And they ruined that building that had such amazing things happening to it, vibrancy to the downtown core, and adding culture and adding good, fun things. Fun things go away when corporations take over and they think about the bottom line, like Electric Circus and the Speaker's Corner and all the fun that you used to have at that address. That building sucks. You might as well just walk by it like it's a warehouse because there ain't nothing going on in there except for broadcasting, and it's not interacting with the public anymore. That's sad. That's how Toronto started to get worse when that building started to change away from things like Electric Circus. That's right. Mike saying, Trevor J, laugh out loud. They would dance at Much Music. That's right. The Much Music building used to be much about music. Now it's just about sterile ass, closed up windows, and stupid ass shit. That's what I say right there. That's right. Naka's saying, add Hot Frosty to that list. No, Jill, what are you doing? What are you doing? She's writing it down. Why'd you do this to me, Gerald? Why are you doing this to me? Let me get some water for a second.
Don't even. Don't shut up. Give me more.
No. All right, let's see. Stargate saying some of my favorites from back in the day. Brad Armstrong, very good technical wrestler, died way too young. Ivan Putski, the Polish Power. Yeah, the Polish Power. He had some big muscles, and he was in WWF 70s, big time tag team champions with Tito Santana. Paul Orndorff, the Mr. Wonderful. Yeah, there you go. Nikita Koloff from Minnesota. Tito Santana, Mercedes Solis. Yes, Mercedes is awesome. And I feel sad, man, because I found out recently, and Jake kind of told this on his podcast, that Tito, you know, Vince was really racist and really bad person. He paid Tito Santana dirt, partly because he was Mexican, y'all. All those other guys that were getting all that money, Hogan, the big guys, Tito Santana got paid nothing in his run with the WWF in the 80s. He was just a good guy and showed up to work and didn't complain. And Vince McMahon underpaid him partly because he's a Mexican guy. That's messed up, isn't it? Superstar and Super Destroyer. Superstar Billy Graham and Super Destroyer, who was Bill Eadie, I believe. No, Super Destroyer was Irwin. It was Irwin. I think it was one of the Irwin brothers. Steve Williams, Dr. Death. I met him once at Scotiabank Arena, and I got in trouble for it. Tony Atlas and Rocky Johnson, Soul Man Rocky Johnson, Mr. USA Tony Atlas were the tag team champions and the first African-American tag team champions in the WWF. That's the father of Dwayne Johnson, of course, Rocky. That's right. Stargate going over a little list there. I like it. Wayne saying, morning, Raptor Freaks. Good morning to you, Wayne Strainer, the sergeant at arms of this channel. Sergeant Wayne Strainer. That's right. And Mike saying, not going to lie, Ken Shamrock was impressive. He was a real MMA, WWE crossover. There's some interesting stuff out on Ken Shamrock that I learned recently. You know what? He had a huge influence from Bret Hart. When Ken started wrestling more. Now, he wrestled in the 80s a little bit, and it was kind of goofy. You know, he was doing MMA and pro wrestling at the same time at different times. And, well, Bret Hart told Ken Shamrock straight up when he came into WWF in the Attitude Era in the middle of the 90s Just be yourself. And honestly, your best strength is to play into you're the MMA guy and just be who you are in the MMA world as much in the wrestling world. And Ken listened to him, and he said he gives full credit to Bret Hart for helping him be who he was in WWE. And just don't make it complicated. Just be an extension of yourself from MMA world in wrestling. And that's what Ken did. And that's part of the reason why he was so successful. And he gives full credit for this and this talking to him to Bret the Hitman Hart, y'all. Just so y'all know, a little fun fact on that. Wayne saying Monica Deal, Trevor J had a crush on her. Used to call the station to speak to her. Never happened. This is somebody who danced on Electric Circus. And Wayne was trying to get their number. He's like trying to call to say, hey, who's that girl, Monica? Can I get her digits, y'all? She's looking good. You know, you should have came down there, Wayne. Maybe started dancing, slide up next to her, you know, do a little, hey, lady. Oh, yeah, I'm just dancing next to you. Yeah, you like it? You want to dance with me? You know, maybe you should have done that. Yeah. Nako saying Walter Jr. suffered the most. Well, come on now. Let's not spoil things. But yeah, we'll find out. Nako, come on.
My spoilers.
Okay, she's saying it's all right. Okay, you're obviously her best friend this morning, giving her all these rom-coms, Gerald. Blackhawk saying, waking up to.
Yes, please continue with the suggestions.
Stop with the suggestions is what I'm saying here. Stop with the suggestions. Blackhawk saying, waking up to Cena heel turn made me laugh so much. Jade electrified last night. She's a natural performer. She's got it because she's got the charisma and the feel to her, but also the physicality. And she is a legitimate like athlete that is really, really like strong. So yeah, she's got the package. This is interesting because Cornette called it out early in her career. It's like she's going to be really good. Like he could see it. You know how Cornette is so critical of new wrestling, and he just dumps all over it all the time. But every time, consistently, he said Jade Cargill's good. And he's always said that. That's right. Always said that. Let's see. Logical saying that the realistic portrait of the wrestling life makes the wrestler a great watch for WWE fans or even non-fans. Yeah. Yeah, these guys have crazy lives. I mean, I've studied a lot about wrestling, and some of the stories about behind the scenes and way these guys live their lives on the road all year long in hotel rooms and painkillers and women and bars. And, you know, Jim Cornette talks about how him and the Midnight Express were so hated that fans would chase them on the highway, shooting guns out the window at them, and they would shoot guns back at them out the window. I mean, that's how crazy shit was. They had to really protect themselves because people really hated them in real life because they were so good at being villains. And when they were coming in and out of the arenas, it was always dangerous for Jim Cornette and the Midnight Express because people would try and attack them. They would try and figure out where the car was, and they had all kinds of weird strategies to try and avoid the fans and get out of there so that they wouldn't get hurt or any kind of trouble. And when they were out in public, they had to be careful because some fans would actually try and take pot shots at them because they hated them so much. Isn't that crazy? That's back when wrestling was actually believed to be partially real because people really bought into it and thought it was totally real at that time. Most saying W stream, W vibes. I agree. Vibes have been really awesome today, even if we've been a little off topic. Go Raptors for life. Keep at it always, Lex. Raptor Freak Crew. Strong forever. There you go. I love that. Just helping Lex limit the comments. I appreciate that. I've got about a half an hour to go. We'll finish everything up. That's right. Stargate saying, yes, he's Canadian. Abdullah, that is. Yeah. I love Larry. I know some people hate him and they won't, they think that he's awful for giving some people Hep C. But man, if you're going to wrestle Abdullah the Butcher, you already got something wrong with your head, is what I'll say right now. If you're going to get in the ring with Abdullah the Butcher, yeah, you're probably not all there already. And I wouldn't be getting in that situation. No, I wouldn't. That man has forks in his tights, and he will pull them out and put them to your forehead. And you do not want that to happen to you. No, you don't. You don't want a big fat man from Sudan who's actually from Windsor to come at you with a fork and start carving in your head in the middle of a match until he gets blood coming out from the forehead. And that's what he did. That was what he did almost every match. He pulled that fork out of his tights and he just started in there. And the blood would start flowing. That's right. That's just the gimmick. That's how it goes. Logical saying, not gonna lie, the best different role movie is 1 hour photo where Robin Williams is the villain. I watch it sometimes. Man, rest in peace, Robin Williams. That's a creepy movie. Yeah. It's totally not like Robin Williams at all. That may be the weirdest role he ever played in some ways because he was the villain. He was creepy as hell. And that is a weird movie. Have you ever seen that movie? 1 hour photo?
I think I saw part It scared me when I was younger.
So basically, Robin Williams works in a photo lab at a drugstore or something, and he's a creeper. He looks at everybody's photos, and he has like blonde hair and glasses. And
Yeah, I remember.
yeah, it's a really weird, really weird.
I don't care. We'll watch it. Put it on the list.
Yeah. Wrong Trevor J. Trevor J. What do you mean wrong Trevor J? What are you saying? Trevor J saying wrong Trevor J. Is there two Trevor J's here? Something like that. Something's going on here. I don't know what's going on here, man. Let's see. Mike's saying Titanic is something. Oh, shut up, Mike. Shut up, Mike.
Don't shut up. Continue.
Shut up, Mike. Titanic is sometimes I like to watch it. I'm into researching the Titanic. Okay, that's great. That's great. You know, I told the story before on this channel, but it was a long time ago, so I'll tell it again. I had managed to avoid watching Titanic pretty much my whole entire life until the last day I got drunk. The last time I got drunk was in 2010, and I went to jail because I was drinking and driving, and I got in a lot of trouble. And that was the last time I ever drank. And that was in 2010. I had not managed to miss out on watching Titanic for almost 20 years. And then I got put in jail.
Watch it again.
And I had to watch it in jail because that's what they put on the TV. And it was weird watching it in jail with the other people in jail because they were rooting for this is so crazy. Like when the Titanic starts sinking, and there's that one scene where people are like plummeting as it capsizes and they're like falling. Like all the criminals in the jail with me started cheering when people started dying when the ship started sinking. I was like, oh my gosh. I was like mad. I was like, this is punishment. I think having to watch Titanic was the worst part of being in jail, honestly. And I was like, man, I swore I would never want to go again because of watching Titanic. No, I'm just kidding. There were other parts that were worse, but watching Titanic was pretty bad. It was top 3, actually, part of it right there. Yeah, top 3. Yeah, there you go. And yeah, we don't need to watch that again. Okay. No, we don't. Nins is here. Good to see Nins holding it down for us in the city of brotherly love. Of course, Nins was at the Raptors Philly game, sitting behind the Raptors bench when we beat them. Got to enjoy that fantastic moment in person as an RFF on the enemy lines in the Wells Fargo Arena. I love that so much, Nins. And I'm so happy to see you back in the chat again, that you got to go there to that game this year. Fantastic game. Good morning, Lex. Haven't chatted in a while, but I've still been here every morning. Looking forward to see more of our point guard become the best version of himself. Emmanuel Quickley. That's right. Yeah, if they're going to play Cole Anthony, and they're starting him again because Jalen Suggs is hurt, it'll be a Cole Anthony versus Emmanuel Quickley matchup. Emmanuel still feels bad about the foul on Kobe White that caused the 4-point play. In some ways, if that had not happened, if he just stayed away from him, he just hits the 3, we win that game. That's why that was so ridiculous, that call by Ed Malloy to give them a 4-point play. And it was such a disaster. So, some ways, Emmanuel's reviewing that in his head. And in some ways, he's saying, I got to be smarter. I'm a 5-year vet. I can't make these kind of mistakes. I'm looking forward to seeing more growth from Emmanuel Quickley also. And I think he's going to have a fantastic game today. That's what I want. Stargate saying, hey, Adriana, notebook. Sorry, Lex. Y'all really are getting at me here. Oh, my God. Oh, man.
I love it.
You love that movie, The Notebook?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There's a guy on Survivor this season. He's a stunt man, and he's got big, huge muscles. He's trying to impress everybody by saying, my favorite movie is Notting Hill. And I'm like, oh, my gosh, what's going on here? That guy, David. I don't know. That's weird. Yeah. All right, let's keep going. Mo's saying a time to recognize the strength, courage, and determination of those living with CP. It's a reminder that disabilities do not define us. Our perseverance, dreams, and achievements do. I love this so much. And this is so true. This is so true. When I was a kid growing up in Florida, the neighbor across the street had a very, very strong case of CP that really affected his life, but it didn't. The man drove a car. He drove me to school every day. And that influenced me as a young kid right away about people that have CP, and looked at them. It's like I didn't see them as different because I saw such a good example of Mr. Harder across the street and how he's a family man, married with kids, and drove a car and was just like my dad and all the other dads on the street. So I got a very early lesson about cerebral palsy from Mr. Harder. Rest in peace. I love that man. But yeah. It's something that I've known about since I was a little kid, and it's something that I've never saw anybody who had CP as any different than me because of Mr. Harder. And you know, that's that in some ways, you know, that's why I love Monique so much, because she carries the spirit of Mr. Harder in her, as far as she does not let her disability define her, and she does her life the way she wants to. no matter what. And that's why I have the utmost respect in the world for Monique Lawrence and also for Adriana. The same reason. Man, sorry, y'all. I didn't get teary. I started thinking about Mr. Harder, y'all. He passed away like in the last 2 years, and he had a really good life for somebody who had CP. He lived everything and did everything he wanted to do. And he's amazing. He changed a lot of lives in Florida too, because he made sure that the government enforced the accessibility for people in buildings and building codes. They changed the laws, the ADA laws, so that people had to make sure there were ramps and accessibility for everybody to get into places. And he was fighting that fight in Tallahassee and making sure that businesses came up to code. So he's a very powerful, strong man for doing that for everybody. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Let me keep going. Stargate saying my favorite heart was not Brett. It was Keith. Then Bruce. I really didn't even know Owen before WWE. This is crazy. You know what this tells me? That you were watching Stampede Wrestling is what this tells me. That you were watching Stampede Wrestling, because in some ways, man, that's the only way we know who Keith or Bruce is, because those guys didn't get big time or anything like that. But yeah, they were big time when Stu Hart was running that Stampede over there in Calgary. And yeah, Brett honestly is the greatest, not even just in his family. And to me, he's the greatest of all time as all wrestlers. So yeah, Owen was an interesting wrestler, because he was a hot shot and they knew that he was going to be a prodigy and so good. And he really was amazing. And of course, the tragedy of his death. But yeah, the early stuff with Owen, because he was on WWE even early as Blue Blazer, like really, really young. And man, Owen Hart, Bret Hart, two of the best wrestlers ever. Seriously, two of the best ever. Adriana's saying The Notebook is a classic. I love it. Oh my gosh, y'all. What are y'all doing to me? Seriously, what are y'all doing to me? Mike's saying James Cameron is a good storyteller. Avatar is really good, in my opinion. I've never really watched the Avatar movies. I know that he did that Leviathan or The Abyss or something like that, and he did Titanic, Terminators, a couple of different movies, and then Avatar was like his pet project, the one that he really wanted, his life work that he wanted to do. I don't know. I'm not really into CGI stuff and a lot of graphics and stuff, and so the blue people in Avatar turned me off, and I don't think I ever really even watched it. I know they have like a sequel too, right? There's a couple Avatars now at this point. That's right. Let's see. Mike saying, I actually watched Goodfellas, Casino, Blood In, Blood Out, American Me this weekend. I went on a classic mafia movie binge. Yeah, those are some really good movies. I really love Casino. Casino is one of my favorite movies of all time. Robert De Niro is a badass. He's one of my favorite actors. That movie is so good. Casino. You should watch Departed too. That's another movie that should be on that list. I also really like the movie Heat. If you have not watched that one, Mike, you should watch Heat with Pacino, De Niro, Val Kilmer. And that movie is really, really good. Heat. That's the one that I would recommend. Of course, Goodfellas is a classic for sure. But yeah, you've been watching some mafia movies. There you go. There you go. Adriana is saying, we are not different, Mo. It's fantastic. I love you and keep being you. There you go. I love that so much. Yeah, y'all, CP Awareness Month is all of March. And we're going to be talking about this at different times for sure. Cool Cat saying, Lex, we appreciate how much you care and help advocate for ADA. Yeah. I mean, seriously, in a cruel world of the MAGA, and they really don't give a shit about the weak or people that have maligned or not getting this or that. They don't care about the sick, the poor, the tired, any of these people. They won't crush them in the machinery of their bullshit. And no, we're going to need people to stand up and give some room and safety for everybody, for all different people from all different walks of life. And this is really important, because there are forces out there that are evil right now that are going to do really bad shit. And we need to stand and advocate and stand together against it. That's what I'm saying right there. Yeah, Mo, thumbs up to Mo. That's right. Abyss is good. Yeah, Abyss. Yeah, Stargate saying Stampede Wrestling is what I grew up on, and that's what we used to get in the Caribbean before any other. Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. That's really cool. All right, I'm at the end of the chat, so let's do the classic card real quick. And I've got about 15 minutes still, guys. We've been very timely. Nah, we've done this card. This is too easy. We know who this is. Y'all will misspell this. Too bad. Although we are playing Orlando today. Y'all know who this is? Somebody write this in real fast. You can get a quick points. This is not going to be the classic card. But if you know who this is, just write it in real fast. You can get the quick points. But I'm going to take it down in like 10 seconds if somebody doesn't write it. There you go. You didn't spell it right, Mike. That's not how you spell his name. That's not the right answer. So if somebody else wants to seagull it from Mike really, really fast right now, you can get this classic card real quick. It's a bonus classic card. It's not the real one. It's too easy. Mike, you fumbled, man. I'm not gonna give it to you. It's Scott Skiles. Skil. There's no Y. It's an I. It's an I. Maybe I'll give Mike 50 points. How about that? All right, let's see. Ooh, this is a tough one. This is a little bit of a tough one. All right, here we go. Classic card of the day, Reggie. This was yours for the taking to keep your streak. So here we go. Who knows who this player is for the Bucks? Right around 91, 92. Who is that? This is not an easy one. This will be a 200-point card. So if somebody can get this card, I'll be very impressed. If it's Ahmad Rashad, he'll get it. That'd be fantastic. So let's see. I'll give you guys a couple clues on the name if you're having trouble. How about this? I'll say this. His last name is the first name of the guy who helped Canada beat USA in that hockey game recently in overtime. If you know the first name of the guy who scored the game-winning goal against USA in that overtime victory at the Four Nations Cup, you know the last name of this guy. So there you go. That's a good clue right there. It's a really good clue. That should give it away, honestly. So if anybody knows that, you can get the classic card of the day and get the trivia points. So you know who scored that goal in overtime to help Canada beat USA in Four Nations Cup. The first name of that guy is the last name of this guy. So there you go. That should be pretty easy from there, but maybe not. Let's see. I keep saying Scott Styles is because someone seagulled it from me. Yeah, it's Scott Styles is not the right name. It's Skiles. His name is Kiles. Scott Skiles. Yeah, it's Skiles. I know how to spell his name because I was a big Magic fan, and Scott Skiles was on the team when I was a big Magic fan at the time. So yeah, nobody wants to get this. I guess Reggie's away from the computer, and he's not going to get this. Y'all know who the player is, right? Yeah, Mo knows the name of the last name. There you go. Oh, it's a joke. You said that? Okay. Mo knows the last name. She's got the last name. If y'all know the first name, then you can get the whole thing. But yeah, she knows the last name because she knows that Connor McDavid scored that goal in overtime, and that's exactly right. So there we go. Blackhawks got it. It's Lester Connor. That's right. Good job, Blackhawk. Neil coming in, getting in the classic card today. There you go. There's Lester on the back. Lester, number 15 for Milwaukee Bucks. He's a little bit of a bit player for them. All right, let me put this on our classic card spreadsheet. Where is it? Where did I put it? Is that it? That's not it. That's not the one. Is it? No, that's not the one. All right, let me hang on. Bear with me for a sec. I just did some switching around just now. La. All right, let me write it in here. Okay, it's Neil. Neil got it. Beautiful. I love to see so many different get it, although Smooth had a streak going. All right, we're going to put Lester Connor in. And Mike, I'm just going to give you 50 on the side for Scott Skiles. Blackhawk. And we're going to give Blackhawk 200 points for that classic card because Lester Connor's a little tough. There you go. Awesome stuff. Jill's here. Morning, freaks. Nice hat, Lex. Good color for you. You like that? The color of the hat? This is Adriana's hat. I just decided to wear a different Raptors gear for today just to have something different to look at. Yeah, it's a nice little, it's like a, I don't know, is it a sage?
I don't know.
That's a Breaking Bad reference.
Yeah.
Is this a sage color? I think it's sage. Like when they're doing the stakeout, the initial stakeout, and with Walter White's brother-in-law, and they're like sitting outside the first drug house, and they're trying to determine the color of the house, and his partner says it's sage, and the bald guy, the brother-in-law, says, "What is sage? That's not a color. That's not a color. Sage is what it is, man." And it's sage. So it's sage. I think it's sage. Good to see you, Jill, in the chat. Should I drink some water? I'll drink some water just because Jill's here. She doesn't even have to say it. I'll just drink it. Okay, we're going to wrap it up. We got 12 minutes to go. Let's see. Should I go and look at Raptors Reddit? Let's go look at Raptors Reddit real quick. They're doing a shout out to Quentin Grimes on there for his performance, beating the Warriors last night, helping the Sixers win. There's a PJ Tucker waived. Raptors team news there. Yeah, this is oh crap. This is like I don't like that one. So, okay, this guy here. All right, this is a really bad post. Listen to this. This guy's saying, this is Macon Joyer. K Macon Joyer. Okay, what a weird name. I think we should shut down Pirtle. 2-11 without him, and considering we have an easy schedule moving forward, we need to prioritize losing to better our chances at a top pick. I can't see Yak having an issue with it, considering he said it himself that this season isn't about winning. BI likely isn't coming back until the very end of the season, if that. If you shut down Yak and rest Scotty, RJ, and IQ in spurts while running Grady and our rookies into the bench, the odds of getting a top 3 or 4 pick and actually building up a legitimate young core is there. That's their opinion. I think this is stupid, man. I think this is so stupid. If Jakob is healthy, you think he wants to waste his life not playing games? Last year he didn't play because he was hurt. This year we don't need to have him be faked out. I mean, whatever. They're going to do what they're going to do. If this happens, I'll be annoyed, but I can see why the strategy would be that. This guy's also saying, true Toronto fans saying, why Raptors fans shouldn't get attached to any one draft prospect just yet. Yeah, I'm with that. I hate how we get attached to one person. People are so Cooper Flag or bust and nothing else. It's so dumb. I am very much a Malak fan, and I want to see us draft him. But if we don't draft him, I'm not going to get all set and butthurt like people did when Ed O'Bannon didn't get drafted or Jalen Suggs. This is something dumb that Raptors Nation booing draft picks that we make because we don't make the pick that they wanted to make. It's so dumb and stupid. Scotty Barnes, Damon Stoudemire, both rookie of the year. And y'all booed both of those because you wanted somebody else. So, yeah, I agree with this. Don't get attached to any one draft prospect. There we go. Raptors Reddit stupid today because they're suggesting we bench Jakob Poeltl for the rest of the year. You idiots. No, we don't do that. That's right. No, we don't do that. Adrian said, laugh out loud. Lex is always telling me to drink more water. Yeah, hydration's good. The essence of life. There's a percentage of our bodies that is water every day, and you want to replenish it. You want to put the water in to flush the water out. If you're not feeling well, drink water. It'll make you pee it all out. And that's a good thing to do. That's right. Neil saying an asset is an asset. We will make the best of whoever we get. Exactly. I'm not trying to pull punches just to try and get a top 5 pick. I'm sorry. And Darko shouldn't be, and Scotty shouldn't be either. That game on Friday was unfortunate. It was stupid. And in some ways, if it's going to happen, it might as well happen this year. Some people are categorizing if we don't get a top 5 pick this year, just like last year, then we've been failing because we didn't do this. Oh my gosh. Why even, if we're going to be so bad, we deserve to get a top pick? No, bullshit. Nothing in this world is given or granted. In some ways, it's going to be what it's going to be, and we roll with the punches. In some ways, we're going to get what we're going to get, but I ain't going to be here listening to Raptors fans if we get the 8th pick in this draft and they're all pissed off. Listen to them whine and cry. Why did we lose all year just to get the 8th pick? I don't want to hear that bullshit whining from Raptors Nation. The basketball is basketball, and y'all have some convoluted, stupid-ass things that you think about basketball these days, young fans, that just don't make no sense to an old fan like me. Every single year, teams fall in different places out of all 30 in the hierarchy of the standings, and in some ways, you don't want to slouch just to get the bottom. Hello, 76ers. So just stop. Seriously, let the Raptors be who they're going to be and let them get the wins that they're going to get. And we'll see where they are, and we'll make the best of the situation no matter what. That's what I say about all that. That's for sure. Right there. That's right. Stargate saying Keith Van Horn 2.0 and Alex Sarr 2.0. Yeah, I ain't having it. I trust in Bobby Masai. They're going to make the right draft pick. It doesn't matter where we pick. I'd like it to be top 10. I don't want to fall out of the top 10 for sure. I'd like it to be right around 7 or 8. I'm not about getting a top 5 pick, guys. And everybody who wants to get a top 5 pick so bad, screw you. In some ways, we can get a 7 or 8 pick, and we're going to be perfectly fine. Seriously. Common Crazy saying, let's go 0-2 the series, please. And Lex, we need a top 5. We will earn it through losing. Yeah, screw that, Common Crazy. You're on the wrong side of things with the Raptor Freak family on that. Everybody who's Tank Nation or advocating Tank Nation is not my friend. And I ain't about this. That kind of logic and thinking is not what I want, Common Crazy. I want Darko Rajakovic and Scotty Barnes and the rest of them to play to their fullest ability and try and win to their fullest ability. Even if the schedule's easy and we win all the rest of the games, I'll be perfectly happy. I don't give a shit about getting draft pick at a certain place because Bobby Masai are good like that. They'll get Jacoby Walter at 19. They get Grady Dick at 13. I ain't worried about where they pick, and I don't want to sacrifice trying to win just for this. No, I'm exactly opposite with you. I want to beat the Magic at least once while we're in Orlando this week. Yeah, I do. Mike's saying, I was watching redrafts for research on a video. Scotty is at 1 and 3. Green dropped, and Grady went up to 4th on most redrafts. Laugh out loud. Masai and Bobby will get redraft mover no matter what. Exactly. Scotty's the rookie of the year. He got picked at 4th. Grady's a 13th pick, and he just said on the redraft, Grady was 4th in the redraft for his draft class. So it's like, trust in them. Jacoby Walter, his redraft is real high too. Jamal Shedd's a first-round pick. So it's like, what are we doing wrong with drafting? It doesn't matter where we pick. We can get gold. That's right. That's right. Laugh out loud, Mike. Laugh out loud all day. Laugh under loud. Laugh under loud. That's what I think that means. Jillian saying, looking forward to tonight's game. There you go, Jill. Get ready and have a nice time. Common Crazy saying, I've seen Raptors be mid for years and talent walk. We can't attract good talent. We need good picks. Bullshit and bullshit once again. Common Crazy. Normally I like it when you just tell me not to swear instead of coming in here with these loser mentalities. Seriously. No, we ain't trying to lose just to get new people to come and save us. We don't need that. We have the basis core of our team right now to win. We just need to add a big, and that big should be Common Malak around the 8th or the 7th or the 9th pick in the draft. We don't need to get a transcendental player that's going to, this and this and that. There's nobody like that in this draft. I don't think there is this kind of person in this draft. Seriously, I do not. So I don't ever play for the draft. The draft is stupid. The guys that we have in charge are good at the draft no matter where they pick, and we have that benefit and that bonus. If we were another team, yeah, it would matter more. You're saying we'll be mid for years? Bullshit. We're coming up. Our core is so young, and they have so much room to grow. It doesn't even matter who we draft this year, honestly. We're going to be good either way because Brandon Ingram's on our team now. Scotty Barnes is on our team. Emmanuel Quickly, RJ Barrett are on our team. And we've got young stars like Grady Dick and Jacoby Walter coming up underneath them. Now, we're stacked, and we can't go anywhere but up because these guys are all very young, and they're going to get better and better. And the tough decisions we've made like 3 or 4 years down the road when we have to pay a bunch of people different stuff, we'll figure it out. But we are not going to be mid. Trust me, we will not be mid. And I hate that word too. Teams are going to be where they're going to be, and they'll get better and better. And we're going to get better. Trust me. We're going to get better next year. And we're going to be a playoff team. And I don't even care who we draft. It's not going to be contingent on who we draft. It'll be because our team right now, as it is good enough when they're healthy with Brandon Ingram added to it to be a playoff team next year in the East. That's just the damn truth right there. So we ain't. I don't like this loser mentality. Coming crazy. Come on now. No loser mentality. That's right. That's right. Let's see. We have good talent. Jill agrees with me. That's right. We have very good talent. I don't agree with that. Smooth saying Keith Van Horn was a nice player, though. He was early on his career. He was very, very good in the beginning for New Jersey. And then he went to Philadelphia, and he kind of fell off a cliff. And then he wasn't anywhere. And he didn't have a very long career. That's the crazy thing. So it's like he was good in the beginning. He had a good couple years. But then after that, he kind of just fell off a cliff. And then he went away forever in some ways. Yeah, that's what's going on. That's right. We just attracted Brandon Ingram. Exactly. What are we not attracting, Common Crazy? The myths about Toronto and this and that. Listen, the way we get players is through draft, yes, but we get good players also through trade. And Masai and Bobby are very good at trading. We're not going to sign big name free agents in that kind of way. Yeah, that's maybe true. The Raptors don't have a good job getting good free agents because in some ways, whatever. I don't care about that. Masai and Bobby have done good things the other ways to get good stuff anyway. They built a championship team with a team that had no high draft picks. And, well, we have high draft picks now. We've got a number 2 pick, a number 3 pick, and a number 4 pick as 3 of our top players right now. Yeah. RJ's a number 2 pick. Brandon's a number 3 pick. And Scotty is a number 4 pick in the top 5 of drafts. So you telling me that we need top 5 draft talent on our team is bullshit because we have a 4 pick, a 2 pick, and a 3 pick already on the team. And those guys are further along in their careers. Brandon's in his prime. RJ's got, 6 years under his belt. Scotty's going to have 4 years after this year. Yeah, we're further along with this stuff. In some ways, we don't need Cooper Flagg to come in and do this shit. We've got Scotty, RJ, and Brandon is what I'm saying right now. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. Stargate saying it's smooth. Yes, but not a game-changing generational talent like Flagg is being touted as. Ooh, you're saying that sarcastically. That's right. Common Crazy says, I agree with that. 8 for real. African as a good pick. Nice player is quite different. See, listen, that's why I'm saying, like, right now we're sitting at like 5th worst. So we would be in the top 5. But once again, the ping pong balls determine all of this. We could shift either way. We could fall as far as 9th or 10th because of the ping pong balls. In some ways, there's no control over this other than you control trying to win the games. And in some ways, I don't like tanking. I think tanking is a really bad practice of energy around your team that can really screw up your team in the long run, like the Sixers has had their problems. In some ways, basketball gods don't want to give free throws to technicals that weren't earned and they fall off the rim. Well, basketball gods don't like teams that lose on purpose to try and manufacture things for themselves, because there always seems to be something about it that don't work out for those teams that try to do shortcuts like that. See, we're not about doing shortcuts in Raptors land. The Raptors are building things right, and that's the way they are as an organization. The fans may be all about taking shortcuts with their Tank Nation theories and the way they want to be, but the team isn't, thank God. And in some ways, I'm a fan that understands this, and that's why I don't stand with Tank Nation, because I think it's stupid. Stankies and Tankies, they just shut up. You guys have all kinds of reasons why you're saying what you're saying, but you know what? Your logic is flawed in a lot of ways. It really is, and I can destroy it on this channel every single day by telling y'all it doesn't matter. Masai and Bobby are like that. They could pick the last pick in the draft, and they'd have a good player named Ulrich Shamshay. So come on, man. Believe in your front office. We're not Charlotte. We're not Washington. We have a good front office. They know what they're doing, and it doesn't matter where we pick. We should try and win out and win as many as we can. And if we end up right around the 9th pick, the 8th pick, and we're able to get a good center power forward around that, that's exactly what I want to do. That's it right there. That's it right there. That's right. Common Crazy saying, Raptors logic, are you daft? Did we attract him or was he traded? He was traded to us. Brandon Ingram was traded to us, but they don't do that trade and invest an extension in him unless he really wanted to be here. And seriously, he publicly came out and said, I want to be on Toronto before we traded to get him. He was coming out and saying, I'd love to be on Toronto. And well, they made the dots connect and he came here and he's fully bought in and he's perfectly happy right now. I'm reading all his body language and Brandon is on cloud 9 being a Raptor already. He hasn't even played for us. So yeah, he's ensconced already in the culture. He's fitting in with the guys and the personality. And it's going to be really fun to see him take the court for the first time in a Raptors jersey. And it'll be something. Trust me. It'll be something. In some ways, I'll say this. Brandon Ingram's the closest thing to Kawhi Leonard that we've had on this team since Kawhi Leonard. And that's a big thing. And the other thing is he's not leaving. He's not leaving anytime soon like Kawhi did. We've got him locked down for 3 years at least. So I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying right there. I'm just saying. That's right. Jill's saying, don't call people names on here. Well, unfortunately, there is name calling here to an extent. But I appreciate your sentiment of trying to keep things nice and pleasant, Jill. That's very nice of you. But either way, I mean, I've been kind of an asshole lately. I'll admit it. I've been an asshole. But you know what? I can't help but be myself. And in some ways, I don't stand for people that will stand up for billionaires. They don't need that shit. They don't need y'all standing up for them. That's what I'm saying. That's what I would say right there. All right, let's see. Mike saying, did the Suns attract KD? They traded him. Ingram pushed to come here. Yeah, that's actually really true. That's very, very true. Smooth saying at Stargate, that's true. Did you do the classic card? I did. You were gone. It was Lester Connor. You lost your streak. Lester Connor was a card. Neil got it. And there was a little bonus card of Scott Skiles that was on there, but that was too easy. So I did 2 cards. Yeah, I did. Let's see. Comic Crazy saying, I can call anything, anyone, anything, Jillian. He can. But there's also, you do whatever you want in life, but you get repercussions if you do certain things right now. Comic Crazy is all right now. Comic Crazy is usually just telling me not to swear. But today, Comic Crazy wants to speak the rhetoric of Tank Nation. Well, that's not very. In some ways, I lose respect for people that do that. I do. That's right there. And Jillian said, "No, you can't." He can technically, but with everything in life, you can do whatever you can, but you may have to face repercussions. That's what it is right there. Comic Crazy said we should trade quickly. All right, I'm gonna give you a strike on that one. You get a strike now. Because now you're talking crazy. I'd rather you just say no swearing Sundays and just add to the chat that way. Saying you got to trade quickly, that don't make no sense to me. Saying shut up, Karen, that's a second strike. You're in trouble now. You might have a 3rd strike. We'll have to see. Maybe you should just delete all your messages for the rest of the chat at this point, Comic Crazy. Because you're 1 strike away from being banned from the channel. I'm not gonna lie. Seriously, you shouldn't call Jill a Karen. Seriously, that is not nice. And I will give you a strike for that. And talking about trading quickly, that's not good either. No, that's not good. Stargate saying Bobby Masai are going to pick for need and fit and not by media propaganda, hype, and Jedi mind tricks. Boom goes a dynamite. I'm going to give Stargate a dunk on that one. I love what he just said there because I agree with it. They're going to do what they're going to do. And in some ways, they are not with the hype. They are not with the things. They see clearly through it all. And they're going to go do what they're going to do with the best of their abilities and what they know and they're very, very astute, great basketball careers, knowing what they're doing. 30 points. That's your 10th dunk of the year, Stargate. There you go. I like that. I like that. Let's see. Mike saying Pirtle, 9th pick, Scotty, 4th pick, Ingram, 2nd pick, RJ's 3rd pick. I had that mixed up. So RJ's the 3rd pick, and Ingram is the 2nd pick. Yeah, we're fine. This is way more top-level draft pick talent on our team than we've ever had, honestly, in some ways. Who's calling you? Get out there.
No, it was just an alarm for something.
Oh, it's your alarm. Okay. Thumbs up, Jill. All right, thumbs up. Common Crazy. No one is saying Raptors can't develop, but why start at the bottom? We had to. Like when we traded Siakam and Anunoby, we really pretty much bottomed out last year. And I would say this, it's been really a half a year of a rebuild. If we were healthy and we were playing all out as much as we can, we would be winning at a high clip right now in some ways. Like that month of January was really top notch. We had a winning month in January. And I expect this month to be a winning month also. But some people are going to get really mad if we have a winning month this season because they think we're supposed to lose right now. And that's my whole thing I'm saying right now. I mean, I don't believe in this crap that you're either at the bottom or you're mid or you're at the top. I think that you can rise up and you can do it more in this NBA rules now. The old NBA, you couldn't. In some ways, you needed to go and sewer yourself to try and get a high draft pick to make any movement in the standings. It's not true anymore. This league has parity, and the ability to move up year to year in the standings is there through just natural development with young core. So I don't agree with this kind of strategy. In some ways, you guys that are in Tank Nation are using old ideology that may have been appropriate for 10 or 15 years ago, but not now. The league has changed, and you don't need to do this kind of shit to get better over time. That's the thing. I pay real close attention to this. And the salary cap and the way that they're doing things now has allowed for all 30 teams to try and be competitive within it because the salary cap is restrictive to teams buying championships and stacking really good super teams. That is the design by Adam Silver. So now more than ever, any team in the league can have baby steps year to year and get higher in the standings. You don't have to hit a home run and get a high draft pick to jump up into the standings like it used to be. So that's what I'm saying. Let's get current. Let's get up to date with the new world of the NBA and understand that y'all's methodology and strategies are from like 10 years ago. And you don't need to do this anymore because it's changed. The league system is completely changed with the salary cap and the way things are done. And in some ways, it's flawed. The logic of Tank Nation is very flawed at this point. In fact, you're more likely to screw around and get punished by Adam Silver tanking games than actually getting success from it at this point. That's just the damn truth. Ask the Dallas Mavericks. They got in trouble for tanking and they paid a penalty and they didn't really get anything good from it. Look at where they're at right now. Seriously. Stargate saying, I suspect Common Crazy is one of those young Zazu Spaces individuals. I don't know who Common Crazy is. I thought Common Crazy was my uncle for a while. Seriously. I don't know why. Because he was trying to tell me I swear too much on my channel. My uncle was. And I say, oh, then maybe Common Crazy is my uncle. Because he was telling me to stop swearing so much. Because he comes in, he says no swearing. But it isn't my uncle. It isn't my uncle. This goes back to what we were talking about with Kaz yesterday. I don't know who the hell you guys are, most of y'all. I've talked to Trevor on the phone. I know who Trevor is. I know who Monique is. I've met her. But yes, a lot of people on here, I don't actually know you guys because I've never actually met you in person. I know who Mike is. I've talked to Mike a bit on the phone, and I've seen his clips and stuff that he's done on his channel. And we've talked on the phone a bit. You know, different people, different levels. But I don't know who Common Crazy is. Maybe he is a Zazu Spaces person. I don't know. Trevor's saying, why are y'all so high on imagination players who never played in the NBA? I know. They've never proven anything. And there's been number one picks that have been absolute busts that have been hyped so much. They've been absolute busts. Sam Bowie. That's right. Trevor J, thank you for that comment. Mike's saying we spent assets to get those guys other than Scotty. Stankin isn't the only way to get high draft pick talent. Yeah. Like I said, they were opportunists with getting Kawhi, and they were opportunists in getting Brandon too. Don't get it twisted. This is the same kind of thing. Brandon Ingram had to leave New Orleans, and they had to find the right place for him to land. And Bobby and Masai made the right place here, and it's a really good fit. And it's going to be really, really good, guys. I'm going to tell you right now, people are forgetting how good Brandon Ingram is. Like, he is really good. Like, he is the kind of player that will dominate games and help us win many, many games in the near future, guys. And I think that's the thing that people don't realize. It's like, forget about getting a high draft pick this year. We got a second pick in the draft who's absolutely phenomenal, who has a track record that's very good when he's healthy. And that's the thing we got to see. He wants to be healthy. He stays healthy. He plays a lot of games for the Raptors. We win a lot. Watch, we win a lot. And he's at that prime stage of his career where he's he knows he's at his best. And he's really going to go out there and use it. Trust me, he is. He's a motivated guy. He works very, very hard. Some people don't read Brandon Ingram right. He is very serious about his NBA career. And people are going to see this when he's healthy and comes out there. Smooth saying, like I said, I think he's the most dynamic player since Vince. He's a different type of scorer than Kawhi, in my opinion. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's certain things about confidence with Brandon Ingram about his offense that we're going to really enjoy as Raptors fans. There's a certain level of confidence and ability that he can make things happen for us. Like I said, he's very close to Kevin Durant in some ways, in his body type and his game. And some of the things he can do for us, it may not be Kevin Durant, but is Brandon Ingram. And on that sliding scale towards Kevin Durant, he's closer to Kevin Durant than most of the league, is what I'll say right now. And he's closer to good Kevin Durant, not the Kevin Durant that's playing right now. I'm talking about young Kevin Durant is what I'm talking about right here. Yeah. Let's see. Common Crazy Sound. I'm an asshole too, Lex, but kind of animals and common folk. I like that. You know what? I'm going to give you a dunk for that. He's just being real. In some ways, I like people that are real in some ways. I don't like that you called her a Karen, but you know what? I will give you a dunk because you're kind of animals and the common folk. And that's important right there. I want people that are for the underdogs and for everybody. And if they ain't coming up with me, I don't want to come up either. I'm bringing them with me. That's what I'm going to say right here. Common Crazy, you're getting your second dunk of the year. You're at 6 points. There you go. What a turn of events. We go from 2 strikes to a dunk. Just because he's being real. I love that. I love that so much. Smooth saying, yeah, he's a Kevin Durant type. I'm telling you. There's things he's going to be able to do. They're going to be really, really good. Blackhawks saying Adams should deduct 2 lottery balls for teams with less than 10 wins and 1 lottery ball for teams with less than 20 wins. Incentives for teams to win. Yeah. Yeah, it's bad for the product if teams are slumming and trying not to win. It's very bad. And I mean, I'm not against this idea. I don't think it'll ever happen, though. I don't think it will. Smooth saying too many draft picks and only so many roster spots. Yeah, that's why that idea that Matt and Jack were floating a couple of games ago about what hockey does with their system with the draft and having under juniors and stuff to build up to the NHL. That way you get the young players that aren't really developed that well from college time and another level away from things, whether it's like they play in G League for the G League team or they stay in college and they're drafted by the team and they're just the rights are them. When they come out of the college, finally, they're on our team ahead of time, but they continue to play for their college team on NIL and they get the extra the full 4 years of college. And then they come to the team more they're ready. And that their theory that the product of the NBA will be better because the players are more polished and playing better is exactly right. And there's some things from hockey doing that can be gleaned to the NBA. That'd be smart. Now, it would mean, like they said, that the draft would have more than 2 rounds. In some ways, they'd be adding another round at least to the NBA draft. So there may be 3 rounds. And then rosters would be different because there'd be the active roster for the main team. There'd be the roster for the 905. And then there would be a satellite roster of players that they have the rights to that are playing in other places that are technically Raptors, but they're not technically in our system on the G League or the regular Raptors team. That's an interesting idea. And in some ways, that's very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. I don't know if they'll ever do it, though. Yeah. People keep referring to OKC, but that's an anomaly. Too many draft picks and only so many roster spots. Yeah, I don't agree with Sam Presti's way of building a team. There's a lot of waste in it. And in fact, you could say that the Raptors are the opposite. We may have less draft picks, but we really make those shots count. We may have a bazooka that shoots one big shot and boom, Grady Dick. Boom, Jacoby Walter. Well, we did have 5 picks last year, 5 new players. But the Thunder have always used like scatter shot, like turkey shot. Like their shotgun shoots a whole bunch of pellets and like they're lucky if they hit on a bunch of them. I mean, look at Alexei Poku. Look at a lot of the different people came through there. They're gone. There's no room. And they weren't like that. It's like quantity over quality. They're doing quantity and we're doing quality. And in some ways, you would say that there's better, less waste in our philosophy as far as like we are absolutely getting the most value out of first and second round draft picks because we really get the value out of them instead of just spreading our shot all over the place and just hoping one hits like OKC. That's what I'm saying. In some ways, Bobby and Masai don't want to mess up any of their draft picks. They really want all of them to hit. and they do a good job of making most of them do. Yeah. Mike saying Masai and Bobby aren't pressured to make bad trades because we can let guys walk based on the way we trade. It's always player for player or player and a single first for a player. Having your own picks is key. Yeah, I love that. Mike, of course, is an expert on these kind of subjects. And man, check out Logical Raptors Fanatic. Fantastic Raptors YouTube channel. He's always got the good stuff coming out. That's right. That's right. Let's see. Trevor's saying, is Ingram was under Kobe Bryant. He learned a lot of tricks. Very savvy. Yeah, he's patterned his game after Kobe. He has a lot of the same physical mannerisms as Kobe. He uses the footwork and some of the shot mechanics of Kobe Bryant. Brandon Ingram, that says a lot right there. Right there. He's patterned his game after Kobe Bryant. He looks like Kevin Durant when he plays, and he's going to be a level of talent close to Vince and Kawhi on the Raptors, is what I'm saying right now. Yeah. Mike's saying there's a point of too many picks and players at one time. Yeah, it gets clouded and murky. And in some ways, you're more likely to have infighting if it's a very, very competitive roster where somebody's not going to even make the team. It may be harder to keep chemistry and cohesion because there's just too many plants in the garden and not enough space in the garden. And somebody's going to have to get pulled. Yeah, I could see this. Wayne's saying our team is built with all-round strength. Currently not speculating on who's not here. Ingram gives us a high percentage bucket getter. Scotty can focus on shutting down opponents. Two key positions. Yeah. When Scotty's in there and he's focused more on defense in some ways, that makes our team better. Seriously, if he doesn't have the burden of trying to score so much and he can really exert everything on defense, think about what Wayne's saying here. Seriously, think about it. All right, I'm over 15 minutes past the 2 hours. Let me go ahead and do the rundown and we'll get out of here. Happy birthday to Raptor Freak Omari Parsons, guys. That's our birthday for today. It's Omari's birthday. So happy birthday, Omari. If you watch this later, I hope you're doing very, very well. Always good things to our good friend Omari on his birthday today. So happy birthday to Omari. All right. Once again, the Raptors injuries are this. Ochai Agbaji is not going to play today due to his twisted ankle on Friday's game. Jamison Battle not available due to a broken nose. Garrett Temple not available to pregnancy. Ulrich Shamshe and Brandon Ingram are out. And AJ Lawson's down with the team in Orlando. So he will be available to play with the Raptors because he's not with the 905. They brought him up because Ochai got hurt. On the other side of things, the Magic are having these issues with their team. They have Jalen Suggs out for the rest of the season. Mo Wagner is not available, of course, and that's it. That's pretty much the two injuries for them. Paulo and Franz are available. The referees for today's game, Tony Brothers will be the crew chief. He favors the Magic. Fantasy Ransom is the second ref. He favors the Raptors. And Simone Jelks is the third ref. She favors the Magic. It's not a horrible ref crew. It's not a totally horrible ref crew. We'll have to see how Tony Brothers feels today. If he's too grumpy, we'll have to see. The 905 lost the Wisconsin Herd in a very disappointing choke game where they were leading by 20 at halftime and managed to lose by 2 at the end of the game. My 3 stars of the game for the 905 game were Jared Roden, Eugene Omoruyi, and Charlie Brown Jr. That yesterday was announced that the NBA will hold the hearing to settle the Raptors and Knicks lawsuit on July the 21st. Adam Silver will be commissioning over the lawsuit that the Knicks put on the Raptors 2 years ago. It's going to finally get decided on July the 21st. It was announced yesterday. Of course, Adam Silver is the right person to adjudicate over it, not a judge somewhere like what James Dolan wanted. His bullshit. Yeah. It's a good thing that it's happening this way. All right, let's see. Is there anything on Blue Skies that I need to look at right now? Nope. We did Raptors Reddit. We did the birthday. It's Omari's birthday. Y'all check out the Kensington Variety VIP Club. Always good stuff happening there. If you have a fantasy team, get your Raptor Freak fantasy basketball team lineup set up because that's always going on. Good job on the classic card. Blackhawk. There you go. Yeah, we got Simone again. Yeah, her record this year is 1-4 with us already. And this will be the 6th game that she's refereed for us. Our record with Simone is 1-8 overall. So it's 11% winning percentage. This is the worst winning percentage with any of the refs currently right now is Simone Jelks. That's right. It's crazy. It's crazy. Let's see. Jill's giving me the 11:30. All is well. You drank the water. Laugh out loud. Yeah. And we're going to get out of here. Trevor's saying half of the NBA draft picks may only play at the G League level and never become NBA stars. There you go. It's another word of wisdom right at the end. We got a word of wisdom from Trevor at the beginning and now an NBA one. It's like some of these guys won't do it. Ref hit job tonight. Notice it? I don't know. Notice it. AKA no name. Nah, I don't think so. Tony's not likely to ref hit job us. He's more likely to punish any player that shows him up. If anybody gets cocky or gets kind of like in his face or tries to show him up in any kind of way, he will punish them. That's the thing about Tony Brothers. See, he's not, he just doesn't like anybody trying to show him up. And he will reward good hard work. In fact, I've seen that Tony has an affinity for Scotty Barnes. So in some ways, Tony likes Scotty. I know he does. And in some ways, he'll call stuff for Scotty because he respects him. He likes him as a young man. So in some ways, Tony Brothers is not an enemy to the Raptors. He's an enemy to other NBA teams. Oh, for sure. But not with us. Not with us. I've paid really close attention to him for the last couple of years. And he's on the up and up with us. He's a very, very good ref for us. So I'm not a Tony Brothers hater. He's not like Ed Malloy to me. He really isn't. He's a really good ref in a lot of ways. Mike saying the Spurs are dropping a first-round pick from last year because they have 2 first picks this year, so they wasted Pirtle's asset, kind of. That's what I'm saying right there. You don't have enough room. You don't have cap space. Well, you got to make it all fit, and Bobby Webster knows how to make it fit. He knows how to make it fit. Yeah, Jill's saying G League. Malachi with the Hornets now after G League, but they just lost. Not sure how long he'll be there. Lost against the Wizards. Yeah, in some ways, this is interesting. Malachi's back on a team. He's on the Hornets. It is what it is. It is what it is. There you go. All right. Thanks for watching me today, guys. Let's go Raptors. Let's beat the Magic, and I'll be back tomorrow to react to the game. Hopefully a win over the Orlando Magic in Orlando. Go Raptors is what Adriana is saying right now. That's right. And thank you for watching today. No, thank you for all the rom-com suggestions, but
Really appreciate it.
thanks, guys. Yeah, and it was a lively, fun chat about movies and wrestling and Raptors. There you go. I love it. Y'all have a great day. Raptorize your day. I'm going to go do my workout now. And Isaac, thank you for putting me on blast right there. Big ups and props to you, my guy, Isaac. I know he's always got my back politically. That's right. Isaac knows what's up. Isaac is a worldly man that understands what the hell is going on in this world. And I appreciate Isaac for being him. That's right. Jillian, thank you for the cup. Thank you for the cup. Let's go.